Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Hollywood After Dark. It is the 17th of February, 2022. My God. Peacemaker finale. Did it break the internet in so many ways? Is the Snyderverse officially done? Is James Gunn in command, in control? Does he have the keys to the kingdom? We're going to be talking about that and a whole bunch more here tonight in Hollywood After Dark. Let's fucking go! Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing? Welcome to the party. Hope everyone out there is having a fantastic and lovely Thursday. I believe it's Thursday night. I gauge everything on when a movie comes out, also when my trash has to be taken up to the curb. And tonight, of course, being Thursday, I have to go and take my trash out. That's my chore for the evening. Of course, that's not going to happen until after we are done talking about everything tonight. And the big topic of conversation is going to be discussing the Peacemaker Season 1 finale, Season 2 confirmed yesterday, before we got the glorious, grand 10 out of 10 finale that graced the small screen with HBO Max, of course, today. A lot of people have been talking about it yet. Reed, if you haven't seen it, it's going to be a couple minutes of other talk, and then we're going to get into that. And I'll explain why here. Basically, what's going on is I want to really severely just lower the time I spend streaming, not to stop streaming, but I want to scale it back. So I want to try to think of topics of conversation, whether it's reviewing a show, maybe reviewing a movie, having an overall discussion. I find that to be the more fun and more engaging. And I'll be honest with you guys, more fulfilling, because this back and forth about cape shit, which is pretty much all we talk about more often than not, ends up kind of getting a little bit old. Like, did you guys know that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake or sequel hits Netflix at midnight tonight? And that looks like it's going to be a fun, gory, violent movie. Well, I want to find the time to watch it. So I got to scale back somewhere, and it's got to be here a little bit. So I understand people out there like the longer streams. We'll do those occasionally, but just to give you guys know, it's going to probably be a bit on the shorter side. Shorter than usual. But that, of course, is just the way things are right now. Real quick, we got a super chat here from HBarts, which you know what, we're gonna hold on to that one, buddy, just because it's gonna pop in a little bit later. Okay, it's gonna pop in a little bit later. But of course, if you guys haven't already, check out Patio Commentary. I know I keep talking about it. It's happening soon, before the end of the month. I'm giving myself to the end of the month. I'm still struggling with format, kind of like with everything else. I'm just trying to lock down format right now. So that's youtube.com/Patio Commentary. I'm hoping to have that up here very soon. That's going to be happening. So thank you for that. And then that's what's going on. So that's my pimping for the moment. Joining me right off the bat is my friend and your friend. You've got Jimbo. What's going on, Jimbo? How's it going, buddy?
You bamboozled me right off the bat. I did not know the Texas Chainsaw Massacre thing is coming out like now, basically, like so soon. Like, I thought it was coming out. I thought it was gonna be something in the distance, but no, I'm like, holy shit.
No, Uncharted hit theaters tonight.
Oh my God.
Right? Yeah, Uncharted hit theaters tonight.
Wow,
you know?
I'm so
like that's going on. Like, that's a thing. I thought about going and seeing that tonight, and then I'm like, no, I'm just gonna kind of take it easy and stay in. That's kind of I did driving last night, and then I got home and I was like, I don't want to fucking like stream. So I beat Cyberpunk last night because that whole new update came out, right?
Yeah.
So I did the new update, and I feel like I'm not that big of a fan of the update, to be fair. Like, it has some really good things in there, but it's like, here's the thing. Where I was at in the game was at the point of no return.
Same.
I literally had like done everything else. So like, there's no like NCPD, you know, like
you did all those?
I did all those missions. I did all the side quests. I did everything. I think the only thing I didn't do was fuck River, because I was playing as a female character. So it's like, you know what? I don't really feel like that's kind of a weird thing to have, you know, that
after
like,
his story
after
mission,
his story. Yeah. You're not like, man, that totally gets my juices flowing. The whole Peter Pan killer thing. Like, that's, you know, serial killers just make my labia smacking wet. Doesn't do that for me. Yeah, so, you know, I just kind of felt like that would have been more of a pity fuck than anything else. If I'm being honest with you, that's kind of how I
Really?
viewed the approach to that
Definitely.
character. But I opted out of it. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go for Judy. That's the one I'm gonna romance, and then everything. But then what it was is I chose the Arasaka ending, and I was like, God damn, is this thing ever gonna fucking end? And then it ends, and I'm just sitting there going like, I chose the worst ending in that game.
Yeah.
I like it's not a spoiler. I'm just you get choices.
There's
Do
so
not
many
choose
different
Arasaka.
endings. Yeah.
There's only three endings,
No,
but it's like
there's the one. Okay, there's
well,
the
there's a
Reaper
secret one, isn't there? There's a secret
Yeah,
ending.
yeah. There's the secret one. If you
Okay.
get all the Johnny tokens and shit like that, and you 100% the Johnny part of the
Now, here's
completion.
my question though with that too, because I mean with the Johnny thing, is it like is there like a big thing with Reed or Carrie? Because I did that one mission with Carrie with like stopping the other band. And I don't know if there's anything else after that one because I kind of feel like that kind of ran its course.
There wasn't.
I gotta maybe I gotta go look up a tutorial
I'm
online. But
so lost. Like the thing is, I have like on my story arc, I literally just started back up on whatever save. I had like maybe like 5 more the river stuff, and then of course the mayor stuff with the Perez's. And I don't remember. I think.
I did that. I did all those.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
whatnot.
I did those on my first playthrough. On my
Yeah.
second one, I just literally just started back up just to see the update, but I didn't really play super long. I got busy, but I think I don't know. Because I think for the Johnny ending, I think it's just you storming Arasaka, and
there's like the Johnny Rogue ending, and then there's like you and Pan Am, and then you on your own.
Probably the best one. The
That's what I was reading about. I might go through and do those like tomorrow.
What was the first one you did?
Only one I've done is the Arasaka one, but like it's so depressing that when it's over, I'm just like, I went
back and did all that.
I gotta go do it again because I don't want to spoil it, but I chose the one where it's like I took my fate into my own hands. You know what I'm talking about? And then it's like, okay, cool, go home. And then it just ends, and then you just get all those voicemails from everyone like, yo, where are you at?
So depressing, bro.
It's like, this is depressing. I feel like just killing myself right now.
Man, I definitely suggest. I mean, I haven't played a lot of it since the new update, but it has such a great story, and if you choose the right ending, it just makes the story even much better. I definitely suggest the first one you pick is a Pan Am one, and you complete like all the Kato stuff like that. Because I don't know if you did the romance with Pan Am. I don't think you can because I think you chose a female.
I chose a female character. But yeah, I was all like, man,
you're like,
I would. I am not. Like I usually am like, all right. Some of these game characters, but then like I find out now, like with this update, that like Pan Am will send you like lewds and shit, and I'm like, well, I gotta go back through and play it again. I gotta go back through and play it again, this time as a guy, because like for a game that really does like allow you to like express yourself and literally, you can be a female presenting but have a dick. Like you figure like everyone, and you'd be able to romance practically anyone in that game because it's all on the table at that point. But they really kind of kind of hammer in the gender norms. I'm a little disappointed in CD Projekt Red. I thought it'd be a bit more progressive. I thought it'd be a bit more open. You know what I mean? Like, but because how would that work if you're female presenting, but you have a penis and you end up romancing like the lesbian character? Like at that point, are you just like lying to her? Like, is it just like a duplicitous practice? You know what I mean? Is it just like, it's a, you're kind of like catfishing her if you think about it.
Dude, I mean, it's kind of like you just don't tell Judy or anything about, you having a ding-a-ling, and then just imagine you get to that moment and be like, boop.
Yeah. Surprise. Oh, yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. Anyway, we're going off here on topics. I see people in the chat are like now talking about food. That's how you know you've lost your audience. When you're going like, let's talk about chicks with dicks in a video game. And they're like, let's talk about cooking tacos in the chat. Yeah. I mean, all things considered, we're all kind of aiming towards the same space.
Yeah, but just to wrap up what Music Man is saying, I know there's a free trial available because of this update. I definitely suggest if you are interested in this game to try out the free trial. And overall, I think it's a probably 9.5 out of 10 game for me. It's probably my favorite.
I really like it. Yeah, I really like it here. Han says you cannot romance Judy if you have a dick or male voice, only a female voice and of a JJ. But how does she know you have a vajayjay?
She has cyberware. She like when she puts you in the BD, she just like like
Oh yeah,
strip
they can
search
tell.
you.
They can tell.
Yeah,
That's you know
yeah.
what, man? That's almost like dead naming someone. I don't
Oh,
fucking know.
shit.
I don't know. Listen, the game is flawed, but it's fun. Is
Yeah.
it worth another playthrough? Like, yeah, like on a,
Oh
but I
my
don't know
god.
how how the other, like, I did Nomad. So I don't know how the other
Mm,
storylines are going to play into it. I have no idea.
I did City because it was really cool, the interaction with Jackie at the start, and also you start off with the really cool visuals, and then just keeps going on and just makes it feel like kind of like a better story. But yeah, did you buy any apartments?
No,
Because
not yet. I have the money to like buy all of the apartments because like I
how
haven't
much
bought
is
any of
it?
the cars.
See,
It's like
that's a
one of them is
question.
like $5,000 to like rent it.
Oh my god,
One of them's like super cheap. It's like one of the shittier locations, but I'm like, why would I
oh.
buy the apartment? I don't get that. Like, it doesn't
I
make
have
any
like
sense.
4 million because I did cheats and I just used the old
Oh, you
save.
cheater. I didn't do any of that. I actually played the game. What
The
I did
economy
do.
is so bad, bro. You get 1,000 maybe 4,000 per gig. You don't make a lot of money, and then you spend a lot of money on cars, and also what is
Why?
it?
I ran everywhere. Like, or I stole cars. Like, why would you even buy a car in the game? It makes no sense. You can just
Because
steal cars.
I wanted the
I
achievements
can
and
go
I
up to a
like the
cop and
cars.
I can go up to a cop and I can pull up my gun and I can shoot him cold. It's right between the eyes and kill him in one go. And then I get like
Star.
one star, and then I just turn around the other way and I run, right? And if I outlast the cops by like 30 seconds, they're like, "Well, we don't know where this person is."
Why don't you just reboot optics and just steal the car right from
because you
underneath his
can't
gun?
because the thing is you cannot do your net hack on a cop.
I never tried it. I just
You can't
assumed
net hack a cop. You can net hack Militech, and you can net hack like if there's a like a
that
like
doesn't
a
make any sense. So why spend 30 something K on a cyberware when you
if I can't hack a cop, yeah, I know, right?
yeah,
It's all
but you
like,
can hack Militech
what
and
is
like
this? Like
all these
Blue Lives
other
Matter? I can kill him, but I can't hack him. This is some shit. All right.
shit.
Thanks, CD. Clearly, the nationalist nature of Poland is coming through with CD Projekt Red's development choices
Oh
here.
shit.
Confirmed racist. No, I'm kidding.
Oh
There's a
jeez.
lot, like there's a lot in the game that's a lot of fun.
Oh,
I'm
just
waiting for the
play Deadpool
multiplayer.
that.
I'm waiting. I would love there to be
How was that?
oh
Oh
no,
man.
here's what fucking pissed me off. All right, this is
Oh.
the last I'll say about it. But here's what pissed me off. I go all through the game. I literally am at the point of no return. I'm just kind of cleaning it, doing, getting all the odds and ends taken care of, right? And then I get the update, and then the update's like, okay, great. By the way, we are now completely resetting your character. So I still had all of my perk points, but
No.
they just reset all of my perk points. And I'm like, all right. So, and I had 98 perk points I had to go through and like figure. I mean, it allowed me to kind
Oh,
of
that's
try different
ass.
configuration. But then I'm like, oh man, I kind of fucked up like what I'd been building up to, like, oh, well, I don't need the throwing knives because fuck that shit. I don't need to work on the shotgun because like fuck that shit. I can work at like punching, brawling. I kind of took off the side. It was a lot of stuff where I'm like, I was pretty ticked off about that because it took me like 20 minutes to kind of like go back and figure out, like, I had to go back and reset my progression. Sure, it didn't hurt. And then it was weird because I was like, they then like zeroed out all of the weight that like every consumable item I had weighed.
Well, Hans has What this is what I sent the other day when I picked up the thing because they reworked the perk points and what each room did. So that's why they reset it because you're able to redo it.
Yeah.
Which makes
What
sense. I'm
does
actually
the
happy
dick voice sound like? Jason Mantzoukas. If you've watched Pam and Tommy, then you know that joke. But anyway, look, it's a fun game. It's a fun game. I definitely like. Okay. They didn't. Reset attributes. They and only. Well, I mean, yeah, fine, whatever. It was my skill points. It still took me forever to like remember what I had been building up to. Like I didn't really care about that. Like that's the whole point. Is like I'd already put in 70 hours in this game. I'd already made those choices. Now I had to spend more time and go back and figure it all out. Let's see here. According to HBarts, Max is nitpicking the Peacemaker finale. Is hold on here. Is Max on? Is he live right now?
I think it might be over on Enosh's.
Okay. Why? How you can't? We're gonna talk about that. With any luck, Caden will
Not
be here
on
because
Enosh's.
no. They might be. I don't know. They maybe are. But I'm hoping that Caden and RJ pop up, especially Caden, because Caden was a bit of a
Holy
celebrity today,
shit.
right? Kanan was a
Yeah.
bit of a celebrity, but again, we'll get into all that stuff here. So we'll just kind of rapid fire through what's going on today, the basics of it, the highbrow stuff. We again had another older boomer director come out and attack the Marvel machine. You know, like Francis Ford Coppola is just like, what is a Marvel picture? A Marvel picture is one prototype movie that is made over and over and over again to look different. Godfather 3 ring a bell? I don't know, I've never seen it, but I mean, like, come on, man. Look, here's the thing with this, right? He argues that even good films like Dune and No Time to Die feel similar. And I'm not kidding, there's a quote there that's not with this. And he says something along the lines, and I'm paraphrasing, but he says something along the lines of, you could just like take out the action scenes or like cars crash into each other and it's like the same thing. And I'm like, yo, this motherfucker didn't even watch Dune. There are no cars, man. It's a sand planet. You know, it's Arrakis. It's like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, what are you saying? He's clearly old and not all the way there.
Is he going Nicholas now?
Maybe Nicolas Cage should be like, all right, Uncle Francis, let's get you to a home, man. Because that's his Nicolas Cage is actually Nicholas Coppola. That's his real name. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. Nick Cage is Nick Coppola because he is Francis Ford Coppola's nephew, and changed his name because he didn't want nepotism. I'm sure it helped him in some areas, but yeah, still whatever, you know. I love Nick Cage though.
Yeah.
However, in this whole thing though, there's a reason why he's talking about this. There's a reason why Francis Ford Coppola is talking about all this stuff, and that has everything to do with a movie he's working on. Where I don't think I grabbed the screenshot for it, but basically it's $120 million independent movie. That's what he's doing.
Wow.
He wants to do $120 million independent movie. This is $120 million of his own money, right? Which, by the way, I just want to like, here's my thoughts on this, right? Here's my thoughts on this. If you're going to sit there, okay, this is what it is. He describes his self-funded $120 million film, Megalopolis, a love story where a woman is divided between loyalties. A woman is divided between loyalties to two men, but not only two men. Each man comes with a philosophical principle. That's what he wants to do. He wants to spend $120 million
on a Bridget Jones spinoff.
To do a fucking rom-com style movie, right? Like that. It's right? Like,
what the hell? You just had to say that, and I'm just like, bro, that sounds dumb as fuck.
It just sounds like, you know, it's all like, you know, $120 million to do something. Why the fuck would for one, look, the 2012 movie Dread, which is one of my all-time favorite films, and one of the very few I give a 10 out of 10 to. Even now, a decade later, it still holds that ranking for me. That was roughly a $50 million independently financed film. All right. And Lionsgate fucked it up with the marketing. But anyway, this is $120 million. What the fuck is he going to do for $120 million?
What I'm thinking, bro, like, what is there that you need to spend that much money on, bro? It's going to be like a 5-hour film, or are you just going to CGI a lot of dicks or something? Like, what are you going to do?
He's going to call up Marty Scorsese and be like, you know, hey, can we get that de-aging technology for literally whoever's still alive that I made Godfather with? That's coming up on 50 years, you know? Godfather this decade will hit 50 years old. So it's kind of like but here's the thing. Like, I'll talk shit about the story title and about the storyline because it sounds stupid. Like, what kind of fucking or pitch is that? It's the story of a woman torn between two men with differing political, philosophical beliefs. Or philosophical like principles. Okay. Like, I don't know. What does that mean? Like, can you give me something a bit more to go on there? Is one Muslim and one is Christian? Is one Catholic? The other one Christian? I mean, is one a Democrat? Is one a Republican? Like, is one a furry and the other one's a normal person? Like, you know, does this
like one of those things that, like, you know how like in Tropic Thunder they have those trailers and stuff like that for movies that like Robert Downey Jr.'s character did, you know, the one with Tobey Maguire and all that.
Oh yeah,
it feels like it's one of those. This is what it feels like. It feels like
it does.
Joke.
Yeah. It does feel like it's one of those. Yeah, it really does feel like it's that particular style of story. You know what I mean? Where it's like, this is Oscar gold. This is, look, what this is Francis Ford Coppola going like, this is my last ride. You know, because the guy's he's in his 80s, right? Like, and I'm not trying to like age shame him or nothing along those lines. You know what? It's a reality. It's an outright reality. But I think one of the things really worth, like, one of the fundamental aspects worth noting here is that, like, you can tell this is his like last chance to leave a mark, to go like, I was big 50 years ago, but I'm going to use my own money and I'm going to tell this story the way I want to tell it. Fuck the studio system. All the Marvel movies can suck my dick, you know? Even though the Marvel movies are what's keeping theaters afloat right now, and kind of have for the past couple of years, if you really want to start looking at it objectively. It's not to say that theaters aren't going to survive, you know, without these movies, but things are going to radically change. And Coppola here is he's full of shit in my mind. But again, I feel that he's doing the right thing by coming out and making it with his own damn money, right?
Yeah.
Like it is, you know, like, no, Nihilus here says, I'm not defending the MCU, but it feels like decades since Coppola's last decent film. I think the last movie I saw that he did was Jack with Robin Williams. The one where Robin Williams like ages at 4 times the speed of a normal person. So like by the age of 10, he looks like a 40-year-old. And it's kind of like a weird take on Big. So, you know, there's a lot there with that, where it's just kind of like, what else? I know like the Godfather movies, and there's like Apocalypse Now, and he did Captain fucking EO, by the way.
He did.
Did you ever see Captain EO?
No, but I'm looking at his films right now. So did he direct Bram Stoker's Dracula?
I think so. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, he did Lost in Translation. Yeah, okay. No, okay. Benjamin Button though. Benjamin Button, that was that was David Fincher, man.
The Fincher did Benjamin Button. It looks like, looking at his, I don't know. From looking at his Google page, it's either Spielberg or Jeepers Creepers 3 was his last film that he's done.
Wait, hold on. Francis Ford Coppola.
Yep.
Jeepers Creepers 3?
Yeah, and it also says Jeepers Creepers 2. Here, let me click on Jeepers
Was he a producer 3 on those movies?
I would think so, because he's not the director. I know for sure about that. He probably was a producer, but it's listed on there. That's why I was shocked. Let me see.
I mean, sure, good for him. All right, let's see here. He was an executive producer on Jeepers Creepers 2.
And so most likely it was 3 as well, because
and Jeepers Creepers, okay. And so Sleepy Hollow. He did a bunch of all right. I mean, it looks like he produced a bunch back in the day, which is good. Oh no, what else did he direct? Because like, I'm not saying he's a bad director, not at all.
Oh no, he's a really good producer from the looks of it, because it looks like a lot of these major films I'm clicking on that I know that I'm like not sure he's directed, he's produced. Like the Great Gatsby classic one. He was a producer, I'm guessing, because he's not the director. So,
well, I think someone said Lost in Translation, but I'm not seeing that on here, because he directed Bram Stoker's Dracula in '92. Then he did Jack in '96, The Rainmaker, which was that was the which was that one? That was the De Niro one, not De Niro, Dustin Hoffman. And that was right. That was John Grisham. Back when everyone was making Grisham movies. And then he did he was uncredited for Supernova back in 2000, right? But with that was, I never saw that movie. And then he did like Twixt 2011 and Distant Vision in 2016. That's a coming of age story about a teenage Italian American boy and a girl. Wow.
Twixt got 1.3 million in the box office, and overall has a 4.8 out of 10 on IMDb, 26% on Rotten Tomatoes, and a 40% Metacritic score. Metacritic score. Sorry.
So, all right. I mean, like, look. So the guy's been out of the game for a while. All right. Like again, like he's old. That's fine. Like that happens to everybody. And again, not knocking him, not criticizing. It's just the way that it goes. And so I think at this point he wants to come out and do this movie. They're calling it $100 million bet. And he's 82 at this point, and he's spending his
Yeah.
own money.
Yeah, like that's good for him. He's just like, I mean, if I was him, I'd be like, screw it. I'm putting like as much money as possible as I want. I want to make a damn good film. This might be my last film. Probably will. Who knows if he'll produce? But I would put all my money on this. But like, I would definitely make sure I have a damn good story and make sense, because I think that budget for what it sounds like is gonna be way big. I think he was gonna have like a lot of money left over, depending on. Cause I don't know, but maybe cause I saw like the art that was over it, cause I saw it pop up on his Google page. Like, is it supposed to be like dystopian, or what is it supposed to be set in?
Yeah.
'Cause-
Well, I mean, with this one, someone asked him. I'm looking at this interview right now, and he says here the premise of the Megapolis. Well, it's basically, I would ask you a question. First of all, do you know much about Utopia? Okay, so this is what GQ says. It says this is what they summarize, or what they theorize. They say it's a love story that is also a philosophical investigation of the nature of man. It's set in New York, but a New York steeped in the echoes of ancient Rome. Its scale and ambition are vast enough that Coppola has an estimated that will cost 120 million to make. What he dreams about, he says, is creating something like It's a Wonderful Life, a movie everyone goes to see once a year forever. On New Year's, instead of talking about the fact that you're going to give up carbohydrates, I'd like this one question to be discussed, which is the society we live in the only one available to us, and discuss it. And he says somehow this will provoke this discussion, at least Coppola hopes. He's been trying to get this made for 40 years. All right.
I mean,
he's been trying to get this made for 40 years. Sure. Technology is there, man.
Yeah. So now it kind of makes sense why the budget is so high. Cause I'm like, from the sound, they were like, why the fuck is it that much? But like, I see what he's trying to do. But I really think what'd be really cool, because if he's gonna do some type of what the plot and setting is, it kind of gives me like kind of similar vibes to the classic German film Metropolis.
Kind of. Like, I think what it boils down to is this: what you have is a man who is, he's in the twilight years of his life, and he's questioning legacy. He's questioning, what comes later. If he starts talking about utopia and trying to create a philosophical discussion that will, come up in conversation at least once a year. Dude, I understand that people watch It's a Wonderful Life. You know why people watch It's a Wonderful Life?
Why?
Because it's always on. Do you know why it's always on? There's no copyright on it. There's no trademark on it. It's literally in the public domain. I'm not making that up.
I'm not surprised, but I'm also a little bit surprised.
So it's like that movie and Night of the Living Dead, George Romero's 68 classic, also in the public domain because of, I think it was like a paperwork error or something.
Oh,
right.
Wow.
They didn't file some paperwork. I got to go make sure I have those factoids correct. But that's kind of the whole point. It's like, this is a guy that's at the end of his life who is wanting to either recapture glory or leave behind something that is compelling. And The Godfather, I said turns 50 this decade. I was wrong. It turns 50 this year.
Oh Lord.
So it's like,
that's insane.
When you realize that, like, when you've directed what people have called like the best trilogy of all time, number 3 notwithstanding, and people have referred to like his earlier works as genre defining and game changing and setting the bar so high it can never be topped. And you get to the end of your life, you kind of, I get that. I get that. Like, you want to do it again. If you've done it so many times before, you've got it in you to do it again. And I think that's what this movie is. And of course, he's bashing on Marvel films and shit. But if you look at what he's produced like studio films. He's produced the kind of movies that were designed to turn a buck. So he knows goddamn well. It's the same thing that, like, Nolan and Spielberg and, Nolan likes all that stuff, like Spielberg and Scorsese and a lot of those other guys like to do. It's just, They just like to
Yeah.
complain at this point.
Yeah,
So
but I think with this movie, it's like from what you're saying I was saying it's both. Like he wants to leave, like go out with a bang, but also have a film that like everyone remembers, and it's like something that's like talked about for way past his time, and it's like I mean, you have to produce something and make something that's truly remarkable for it to be talked about that long. Like Godfather, that, like you said, this upcoming year, 50 years. So I mean, this film has to be something, and for that budget, it's gonna be something. I'm definitely gonna be intrigued to look for a
yeah,
trailer in the coming, well, probably year or two.
if it ever gets made. If it ever
Yeah,
gets made, I mean, look, if he releases it, I'll watch it. But I'm the vibe I get out of this. I'm not even making that up. The vibe I get is like Cloud Atlas. That's the vibe I get out of this, where it's like, or anything that it feels like very kind of Anne Rindian. Although I'm probably mispronouncing that or misusing that, and anyone out there who likes Anne Rind is gonna like come at me. So any Zack Snyder fanboy that actually understands the origins of how Zack Snyder thinks, which are not many of them, and we're gonna talk about them too here in a little bit.
oh man,
So
I'm
why
ready.
don't we why don't we move on? Keep it going. Here's another thing that popped up today. Ryan Reynolds says, "I'm promising I'm not in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness."
Bullshit.
Bullshit. Yep.
He said the way he
Bullshit.
said it in the interview, just the look on his face. It's like, bruh, everyone can smell that bullshit, dude. You ain't fooling nobody. He's like, I'm not supposed to talk about it, but I guess, like, bro, you're not talking about it, but then you just answered that you're not in the,
If
it's
fucking
kind
Patrick Stewart is in this movie,
of,
and it looks like Ian Graffold is in this movie, based upon like one of the images that's kind of blacked out from the trailer. And if like, if the rumors about Hugh Jackman are true, look,
I
if
don't know. I don't.
because at that point, look, they've been trying to do a Wolverine Deadpool crossover forever. This could be the time to pull it off. And I'm telling
I
you,
mean,
with the success of No Way Home, they're going to throw everything, including the kitchen sink, at the wall. And I guarantee you, it's probably all going to land.
I no, yeah, because I thought the last time I would see Hugh Jackman as Wolverine was Logan, and that was probably the perfect ending for anyone's comic book run. Like that's like I'm sorry, I've topped that Logan movie over Iron Man's culmination in Endgame. I'm sorry, but like that was just a great movie, and like to see him just being brought back for a cameo and stuff like that. I mean, it's just kind of like that kind of beats the purpose of like him being like completely done with the character. But I get it. I mean, it'd be pretty cool. But if I was Hugh Jackman, I'd be like, all right, fine, I'll come back one more time, but you gotta pay me big bucks.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's most likely what's going to happen. But I think also Feige is probably going to be calling in, um, some favors as time has
Oh,
gone on. So I definitely think it's going to be very fascinating to see. But I don't believe him when he says
oh
that
yeah.
it's not happening. Okay, I just don't
Especially with
believe him.
America Chavez, who's an inner or multi-dimensional superhero.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see Deadpool and all and like shit every single Marvel character that's been on film. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, now it's now Lord Slug here says I wonder if he's referring to. He says huge mistake if that happens. Are you referring to bringing back Hugh Jackman?
I
Oh,
mean, honestly, I think it would be honestly I forget what I was saying huge mistake about, but I think it would be I'll just say this about Hugh Jackman being in this movie potentially. I think it would be cool to see him in the movie and like have an interaction with Deadpool, but I just don't see like maybe even Patrick Stewart while he's young because it seems like it's like the classic, not the old Logan Patrick Stewart, I'm guessing, or Charles Xavier. But I just don't, Logan was such a great ending for his portrayal as a character. If anything, it'd be cool to potentially open it to another character if they're gonna do that. But I don't think they will because Hugh Jackman like deadlocked that role. But
well, I don't think anyone out there like that's kind of the problem with Hugh Jackman in general with the character of Wolverine, not Hugh Jackman. But when you do it for so long, it's almost like you don't want anyone else to play the role. People are very protective
yeah,
over this.
same with Iron
And
Man,
if
all this
if
other
they're
stuff.
smart about it, they'll absolutely make sure that they play it correct. But I don't know if they're going to.
It's just kind of like with Luke Skywalker and like people wanting Sebastian Stan, but like not to the same extent because Hugh Jackman had way more screen time than Mark Hamill has
Well,
as
I
this
still
iconic
want
character.
Sebastian Stan as Luke because
I
I
do
just feel it
too.
makes the most amount of sense. I
Yeah,
understand like why they're doing it like this now, but I feel like they're going to have to if they're going to continue it, and I'm
they
not
have.
against
They're
it.
gonna have to.
If you start giving me a character that I know is digital, and I know the voice is digital, the face is digital, it's not real. After a while, nostalgia is going to wear off,
Yeah,
right? And it's like now we're getting into the uncanny valley. Now we're going
I just
back into
don't like
like,
the whole concept of it. The ethics of it and just overall the vibe of it, it just comes off as really fucking weird. I'll be straight up. I don't like it because the fact that the face is digital, the voice is digital, and just that, it just is like, bro, that is just, it's just so creepy to me.
yeah. Well, yeah, I do agree. I just, it's so weird. Now Lord Sluck here does say Wolverine had the perfect death for any superhero. If they bring him back, it will be a cop out, but it could also, it could be
Yeah.
if it does, Geeks here says it could be a different version of Logan. And I think that is probably the case because
Variant, yeah.
it looks like
Do it.
Patrick Stewart is going to be a variant. And it looks like if you look at Morbo in the trailer, that's not Morbo from Doctor Strange. That's a different Morbo.
I
That's
mean,
a
yeah,
Morbo
was he
working
sitting
for
in the
the
chair?
Illuminati.
Yeah. Wait, okay,
So
hold up. Is that the, oh yeah, that is Illuminati. Yeah.
so it's like so in that particular instance, it's like they're all going to be variants from different worlds. That's why like you're hearing Defender Strange is one of them. There's also like Superior Iron Man. That's the rumor for Tom
Tom
Cruise and shit.
Cruise.
Like, and the thing is though, and I mean, bringing back, you would have, I think it would break people's brains in a bad way if you brought back Robert Downey Jr. as Superior Iron Man
Oh
over bringing
no.
in Hugh Jackman. So it's like because Hugh
Oh.
Jackman got a death, but you know what? It's been a few years now. It's been 5 years since Logan died.
Yeah.
And a lot of people out there might argue, like, all right, now it's 5 years, it's okay. We've gotten past it. And it's not, it's been, 3 years almost since Iron Man died. So it's not as, close or as fresh, but it's because it's not coming over from a different universe. This is this universe. I just kind of
Yeah.
feel like having that same with like Captain America. You're just going into a world, you're going to ask a lot out of your audience. And I don't know necessarily if we're there yet. So I think having a variant that is not like not Robert Downey Jr. would
I
be okay.
don't, yeah, I honestly don't think, if they did that with like Superior Iron Man with Robert Downey Jr., I would be like, I'm sorry, no, that would not vibe right with me. I would be like, give me Tom Cruise because this just does not feel right, and it just like confuses the shit out of my heart.
Yeah.
But coming off what you're saying about like with Hugh Jackman and stuff like that, I think it actually would probably make sense, like having a variant of Logan, just Hugh Jackman coming through like a strange portal and stuff like that, and be like, "What the hell's going on with a cigar in his mouth?" And then just dipping back or saying hi to Deadpool. Like they could do a lot if they just like open up a bunch of portals, kind of like what they did in No Way Home. I mean, you could just have everyone just pop up. But that's the thing with, if you're gonna do this with such a movie, like have all these different cameos, that's gonna like not only demand a lot of the audience to have prior knowledge and have seen all these different films to kind of know who these characters are and like what they've been through and like kind of their whole story arc. But also it's just like, how does it, so if you're gonna bring in like Wolverine, like how does that connect to the X-Men? It's gonna just create this whole giant timeline stuff that people are just gonna be kind of like that, because even if it is a variant of Logan, people are gonna still go online and be like, try to figure out like when this movie took place in this other universe compared to the MCU, and then it's gonna be like that because people have done that for every single movie so far. This guy has a 4-page list I saw on TikTok of trying to map out each movie in terms of chronological order. So that's gonna be another thing. It's just timeline. If you're gonna connect all these different things and characters, how are you gonna try to connect it all and make it make sense?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Now Geeks here says, will we see George Lucas's Howard the Duck in the multiverse? No, but we will see Howard the Duck in She-Hulk. That came out. That was a report that came out yesterday, I think, from like Murphy's Multiverse, I think. So potentially you could see Howard the Duck pop up in She-Hulk. Could we just get a fucking Howard the Duck show or a movie again? Like, I love the original film. Like, I don't care what anyone says. I love that goddamn movie. But I just feel it's kind of like, we don't know. Again, all this shit is all over the place. I like what I want is Deadpool 3. He says here, Deadpool 3 is coming along. The writers for Deadpool 3 are the two women who are like the head writers over at Bob's Burgers. And if you've ever watched that show, which I watch practically daily, I'm on like probably my 5th playthrough of the whole season, its whole series right now. We're 12 seasons in. And I still find new jokes I laugh at all the time. It's very witty, very funny, very down to earth. And I'm really hoping that they bring a lot of this into it. I follow them on Twitter and they're very silent about it, but I'm hoping it's still coming along. H Price here is like, who the fuck is Morbo? Is that a variant of did I say Morbo? It's Mordo. Sorry, my bad. My bad.
Welcome to the madness of
but it's like
Snyderverse.
It's like I said, you say the wrong thing, people are right there to correct you, right? But if you're like, hey, tell me something you like, in the silence in the chat, but you say something wrong and all of a sudden they're just like, well, let me fact check that, you piece of shit. So yeah, okay, thank you for that one, right? RPK says, I don't know how an R-rated Deadpool is going to fit in the MCU. Just fine, dude. Just fine. It's going to fit just fine.
Don't worry about it.
It's not even an issue. Like if you can look at like the violence in Daredevil and the Punisher, and you can see those coming back over, they're going to fit in just fine. These they bought Fox. They bought Fox in order to be able to do the more adult content. It was just like back in the day, back in the 90s, when Disney owned Miramax and they owned Touchstone. And those put out a bunch of R-rated movies. I bet you didn't know that fucking Uma Thurman back in the 90s was a goddamn Disney fucking princess. Doing a line of fucking fucked up cocaine and then having to get an adrenaline shot in the heart. Miramax was owned by Disney back in the day.
What movie are you talking about? I think I know.
Fucking Pulp Fiction.
Oh shit, yeah, that was damn it.
I haven't
seen that movie in like years.
Yeah. Oh, you're missing out. It's a great movie. But it's like, I'm just saying, like I mean, that's, these companies, man, they're in it to make money. And so there's this weird. If you got Bob Chapek out there right now talking about getting into sports betting, because he's talking about getting in Disney into sports betting.
Oh, gee. Oh my gosh. No, and then, out of here, Bob.
And a lot of people are kind of boomering out on this by going like, well, this isn't the Disney that I know. And it's like, dude, the fucking Disney that has been dead since like the 1960s.
They're just a
like,
fucking empire.
What are you talking about? It is an empire, and all empires fall.
If they go into fucking sports betting, like, what the actual fuck? Like, they got a ton of money, bro. Like, dude, they could that's actually kind of wild because they make so much money because they own so much shit. ESPN, Hulu, all this different things. It's crazy.
And that was all done under fucking Bob Iger, but now Chapek's like left holding all these little toys, and he's like, I don't know what to do with it. So he's like, Hulk smash. Shit.
Yeah.
But that's the whole fucking point, though, is like when you look at this sort of thing, you go, okay, this guy is in, if they want more, hold on here, Geeks here says, Bob Chapek recently said that they want more general entertainment to Disney Plus. I mean, what is that? Here's the thing. I disagree with that. I think the general entertainment should be Hulu and Disney Plus should be curated.
Yeah. Because isn't that like Hulu's filled with like actual like cable television shows? That's why they have Hulu Plus or Hulu Live TV or some shit.
Yeah.
They have all those NBC, ABC's kind of like weird shows I can't even get into because they're just ugh. But Disney Plus is like you pay $6 something or $7 a month and you get premium content. You get Loki, you get stuff like that. You get all these like great content. And it's like, no, I no, that does not seem like the vibe right now. And plus we're getting Obi-Wan and all this stuff, like high value production, like movie quality production level TV shows. Like, I don't see how that's, I'm trying to figure it out in the words, but I agree. It should be Hulu. It gets them more general stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like that should be something that is going to be very, we're gonna see this. Like NBC is currently in the process of trying to get back its shows and sell its stock back to Disney, its shares, and then move its content off of there to put it on, NBC Universal or Peacock, and that's going to be big for that. So I think that's going to be okay. Let's see here. Hold on. RPK says, you can't tell me that Daredevil and the Punisher seem like they feel in the same universe aesthetically, though. They absolutely do. They absolutely do. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't fucking matter, like, aesthetically or not. Like, it's okay to have things not be completely 100% homogenous. Just fall under the same umbrella. You know what I mean?
They do in some sort of fashion. Like, I see what he means. Like, I just got, like, my brain cells finally activated. I get what you mean. But, like, if they play their cards right, they'll be able to effectively implement these characters, and hopefully in a rated R fashion like they've had. Like, Punisher, you can't tell me you can, like, if you do Punisher PG-13, I will not watch. Daredevil PG-13 could work, but I want it to be, as gritty and bloody as it was in the original show on Netflix. But they definitely could, because, but just like New York City is just so full of, like, Daredevil, Punisher, and Spider-Man. It's like, what the hell? It's going to be kind of crazy how it's not all going to interconnect and be all mentioned across all these different things. You'll hear about Daredevil and Punisher on Spider-Man, hear about Spider-Man and Daredevil, and the Punisher on Daredevil. It's like, three people work in the same, city. So
yeah,
could work.
I think it's going to be fine. We've been watching Marvel for years now. Nothing there to worry about, right? Nothing there to worry about there. All right, let's see. HWAD, what the fuck? Eddie, King of the is he here? He might. He'll comment later on and say something snarky. Yeah, no, whatever. All right, why don't we move on again? We've got this one caught my attention today. Brad Bird is set to direct his next animated film, Ray Gun, for Skydance. This is going back to the 1990s, but he was pitching this movie to studios as a futuristic story centered on a private detective in an Art Deco world of humans and aliens. So this is a big deal. This is a massive deal for a couple reasons. One, no more Incredibles.
No.
Right? For right now, at least. And that's, I don't know how you guys feel about this. I feel that, like, the most untapped potential of Pixar properties is The Incredibles.
I haven't seen Incredibles 2.
Yeah, you haven't seen it?
I watched it with my ex, but I, like, fell asleep.
Dude, it's fucking good, man. Because here's the thing. The first Incredibles is literally the same story as The Watchmen. It really is. It's about superheroes that were backed by the government, and then they were forced to go underground.
Dude, Incredibles is probably one of my top childhood films because, like, but okay, you're gonna have to ask your kids in the future how they view the movies that they're watching now, because when I go back and watch something like The Incredibles, which I saw on TV the other day, which is kind of funny that this is being brought up, because I started watching a little bit of it before I had to leave for class, and it just, like, I remember things so differently, and, like, it just, oh man, it's weird, like, rewatching childhood movies. It's like you notice things and stuff like that because obviously I'm more cognitively function, which debatable.
Oh no, I get that. I'm kind of the same way. I watch a lot of, like, with my kids, we watch a lot of animated stuff, so I catch a lot of little things in the background. But the thing with this, though, the reason why this is as important as it is because who's running Skydance Animation?
No,
John Lasseter.
The name escapes my brain.
Okay, so John Lasseter used to run Pixar, and then when Pixar was acquired by Disney, he took over all of Disney Animation, literally leading Disney Animation to this fucking golden age. Like, back, like, in the mid 2000s, like, when the stuff all of a sudden started getting better.
Mm-hmm.
That was because of fucking John Lasseter. And then back in 2018, no, I don't think he's a billionaire, but he's definitely, like, his talent is there.
He should.
But the thing is, though, back in 2018, he was Me Too'd because he had given inappropriate hugs. I think that's, like, the fairest way to describe them. And as a result of that, he basically was allowed to kind of step down. And so he went away for a while, and then Skydance Animation came on in, and they were like, yo, dog, you want to work for us? And he's like, well, yeah, sure. So it's Skydance, because, like, no one's going to look at Skydance twice. They make movies like Terminator and whatever. I think Mission Impossible. They've also financed some of those. But at the end of the day, like, they're not going to, no one's really caring about John Lasseter over there. I saw some people when the announcement came out that Lasseter was taking over Skydance Animation, that there was some people that were trying to bring him down once again, but that died down pretty quickly. Because here's the thing, man. Lasseter's name brings fucking eyeballs. It brings eyeballs. You can tell that there's been some good movies at Disney Pixar, in Disney Animation since Lasseter has left. I would argue that like Encanto was amazing. Pete Docter has done a good job over at Pixar trying to make some of that stuff work. I do think Turning Red is one that feels like a streaming movie, to be fair, but I'm looking forward to seeing it. But they don't really feel like Lasseter films, like Tangled is a Lasseter film, right? Wreck-It Ralph, that he had a lot to say on that one. He kind of moved him in to the overall better productions, I believe. So also Soul, I'm not knocking Soul, guys. I love Soul. All right. And that was Pete Docter, his idea. He directed it. I'm not knocking that at all, man. Fucking, loved Soul. Soundtrack is great. Performances are great. Everyone got real mad that white Tina Fey was in Jamie Foxx's body. It's because you can't have anything without a controversy these days. That's just how that shit goes.
Oh my god, I'd never heard of that, but oh my god, I just shook my head. Like, why?
Oh yeah, everyone gets mad at everything, but like here's the thing:
people get butthurt so easily.
This is gonna be a big deal, and I think for one, Brad Bird, not because his first movie was, I believe, Iron Giant was his first film, and that wasn't through Disney. So that was him, clearly like, and that's a heavily lauded film, right? That everyone loved. I think it was Warner Brothers loves fucking Iron Giant. So, and then him then going over to do his own thing with Skydance, they're going to kind of give him a budget, give him all the control he wants, and then go from there, because that's going to be what people are really interested in. And I personally am very interested to see what's going to happen without there being that level of Disney oversight. Like, will they be allowed to go a little bit further? Especially now, because I heard rumors today, and I didn't look into it too much, but I saw this kind of floating around. Apparently, there's some talk about Pixar wanting to buy its freedom after Disney has put the last few films on, almost 4 films now on Disney Plus, really?
Yeah, that's where it gets a lot of its audience, and they're probably tired
and Pixar's feeling they want to go theater, and I'm right there with them. We're kind of getting back to that point where they want to do that, but yeah, it's like even Encanto, I think, went back to theaters this weekend, because it was only in theaters for a month before it went to Disney Plus, and then it blew up on Disney Plus. We're talking it blew the fuck up on Disney Plus. I think I read somewhere 2 billion minutes watched or something with Encanto. Pretty sure
Disney
half
Plus
of that
get
was my
most of the
family.
profit?
Well, they're not. There's no real I don't know what the profit is, but the impact value is high.
Yeah.
So they put it back in theaters.
Yeah, I kind of see how that's a problem. It's like, dude, I get you own the property, but think about Pixar. Pixar movies are meant to be. I think I would rather see them in the theater, because I've always seen Pixar movies in the theaters. They ain't really truly meant for streaming. I get it, it's more convenient, but...
Well, the thing is, though, it's like, you look at something I'll just say, Zack Snyder's Justice League. It was definitely something that looked good on streaming, but it would have been better watching it in a full, in a full 4K or 8K resolution, whatever you have theatrically, IMAX, all that stuff would be great. But sometimes you don't get that. And oftentimes more people end up once a movie's out of theaters, you're going to be watching it on your TV. So it doesn't even really matter in the overall long run. The movie files, it's a different story, and obviously people out there want to see it, but they have to start, it is what it is. I'm wanting to see what's going to happen with this. It's everything here. RBK asks, how can they buy their freedom? Does Disney own a majority stake in the company? I think that's a lot of it, is buying out their shares. Bungie did that with Microsoft a number of years ago, because when Halo came out, I think it was right before Halo 2 or after Halo 1, Microsoft purchased Bungie, and then it was after Halo Reach, they were able to buy their freedom.
And that's when Halo went downhill.
And that's when they had transferred they bought their company back, not the IP. So then they took the IP, went to 343 Industries, which is, hey, it took them a couple of years, but they got there. All right, Halo Infinite's good.
Yeah,
And
that's all I can say. Halo Infinite is pretty good.
yeah, it's pretty
I've
good.
been slowly playing it, but
Yeah. I haven't done. I spent more time with like Cyberpunk. I need to probably dive into Halo at this point. But the idea there essentially is just that these companies can buy their freedom. They can't take their IPs with them. The stuff that anything done under Disney Pixar is going to be Disney's. However, there's I think that might be a thing. Disney really needs to Chapek needs to go in there and make Pixar happy. I don't think there's any other way around it.
True, but then again, he wants to go into sports betting.
Saggy, stop fighting people. What's wrong with you? Anyway, she's always saggy. Tony here. A wild saggy appears and she's violent. That is generally
she not
true.
Violent? She's always.
You should talk to her privately. It's very interesting conversation.
Well, look at her Twitter. She just she leaked the combo in our thread. She leaked Saggy's banter back and forth.
Oh yeah. I saw that. Anyway, so there's what's going on with that, but let's move forward here. Then if we did find out today that Stranger Things season 4 will be coming on May 27th. Part 1, part 2 comes out on July 1st. And what's really funny about this is I just like this comment here that popped up in the screenshot. This childish Latino guy, but great, yes, great name. Says Netflix committed so much into releasing shows in its entirety so people can binge them. But now that every other streaming service is doing it weekly, they're pulling this 2-part thing into almost all of their biggest shows.
They did it with Ozark as well. They're doing it with Ozark, and that's I didn't realize it was being split into 2 parts. I'm kind of like,
May 20. Think about that though. How long is that? May 27th to July 1st. That's like 5 weeks, dude. That's like 4.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Because there's you have the 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st of May. Then June, there's 30 days in June, I think. 30 or 31. I think there's only 30 days in June. And then after that, let's see. Yeah, 30 days in June and then Friday. So literally it is just it's 5 weeks and then you get the next thing.
Yeah.
So
I'm cool with it. I just am like, damn, I'm curious of why they're doing this with a lot of their big shows like Ozark.
Because they have to. At this point, it's all about competition. It's all about keeping if they care about social media engagement, every once in a while, like in 2021, they had a couple big ones, right? You had Squid Game, which dropped in September, but didn't peak until I think early November because people started talking about it and it started getting around. And then you also had Bridgerton, which came out, I think early in the year, and that blew up and had a lot of people talking about Bridgerton. But a lot of these shows are they're just pump and dump, dude. I mean, and in some cases it works like for example, Kevin Smith's Masters of the Universe Revelations. They dropped part 1 back in July, and that was 5 episodes, and that was on, number 1, or not number 1, but it was in the top 10 for a couple days, I think. I think partly
because of the controversy.
Yeah. But then they waited until, was it November for part 2, and they dropped part 2. And it didn't even register in the top 10 on Netflix for television, at all, period. And there was an interview that the guy who's kind of like Mattel, he's the animation guy at Netflix, I think, Ted Besser, something or another. He had kind of alluded, from what I was told, this is all secondhand, in this podcast interview, that we're not probably going to get any more He-Man in the Masters of the Universe Revelation, or just Masters, whatever, Revelation, which kind of sucks because I really enjoyed the season. The 10 episodes was great.
Netflix.
But it's Netflix for you, where it's the impact value wasn't there, the viewership wasn't there, and I think also in part, the way Kevin Smith responded to the controversy, I think kind of fucked himself. I think kind of fucked the show for the second run, because I think even though there was controversial things surrounding it, people did genuinely like it. And that also does kind of not bode well for the conversation, because it is rare that the conversation goes along the lines of something that is more on the positive side. And we're going to talk about, again, when we get into the Peacemaker stuff, talk about that, because I think Peacemaker is a prime example of how to do a reveal and how to do a finale and how to shock the internet in a way that's going to keep people talking for a while.
I mean, I really do like weekly releases, because you look at Mandalorian, Boba Fett, Peacemaker, all those shows every single week, it has tons and tons of buzz. Euphoria, same with that. I haven't seen any of season 2 because I like to binge it all, because that show just.
I haven't seen it at all yet. I feel very odd being as old as I am, watching a bunch of quote unquote high school kids just get high and fuck. It's a little kind of weird.
Euphoria is like my depression binge. Like when I first saw that show, I watched it all in one day, and that's like,
how is it a depression? Well, I guess if the people are all, if their lives are worse off than yours,
No, I just watched it.
Just admit you watch it for Sydney Sweeney. That's okay. You can admit you watch it for Sydney Sweeney.
I know who the actress is, and she was really. I mean, she was okay in The White Lotus, but I don't really know. I don't watch it for that. I mean, I get why people would watch it for that, but like, I watch it because like the story and all the characters, and just like there's so much different elements. We can go into a whole discussion about Euphoria, but I
haven't seen it yet at all. So I just know that
Euphoria.
All I know about Euphoria, and this is going to sound so bad. All I know about Euphoria literally is what I've seen from honest to God, what floats around Reddit, which is generally Sydney Sweeney.
Like that show is very good. Zendaya does a really good job, and the music and just overall like the coloration and stuff like that. It's really good. And then the whole development with Nate Jacobs, who is the one of the like, I guess like the villain, I guess you could put it as, and his dad. Like the story is just so fucked, and it's just like I think is probably what like this character. Okay, so my brain is like telling me 9 different things I'm trying to say, but the characters in that show are done really well, and they each episode kind of goes into like their backstory. Like in the first season, like you learn about like their childhood and what led them up to this point, and it's just they do it in such an interesting and like captivating way. Like I know the one for Kat, who's one of the, I guess, kind of like side characters. I don't know. She's kind of like been a main character towards the end of season 1, but the way they did her story, like from a young childhood and like stuff like that, that was such a great scene and like sequence. So I definitely think you should definitely watch that show, because it's a lot more than Sydney Sweeney. I mean,
it's like, no, I get that. I get that. I need to check that out.
She does really great. She does really great in her scenes with her boyfriend. I can't remember his name, but he's a football athlete, and their dynamic and their story between those two is actually really good. It's probably one of the best parts of the first season, I think.
All right. I'll have to give that a check out at some point in time. But there's still a little bit more here with this. So we did find out that, for one, the poster it looks like all roads are leading to the Upside Down, which is going to be great. And then also, we are finding out here that this is the beginning of the end, because season 4 marks the start of the end, and season 5 is going to bring it to a close. And so the Duffer Bros put out this statement today, saying here that with 9 scripts, over 800 pages, almost 2 years of filming, thousands of visual effects shots, and a runtime nearly twice the length of any previous season, Stranger Things 4 was the most challenging season yet, but also the most rewarding one. Everyone involved is incredibly proud of the results, and we can't wait to share it with you. Given the unprecedented length, and to get it to you as soon as possible, season 4 will be the 2-volume thing. So what that basically means is like, roughly they have a runtime of about an hour. 45 minutes to an hour, roughly. So these episodes, like 4 episodes, 5 episodes, whatever they're going to drop it into, whether it's going to be 5 episodes in volume 1, 4 episodes in volume 2, you're looking at these are going to be around probably 90 minutes to maybe 2 hours long. And that's insane. That's a massive story. That's going to be like, if it's double the length of any other previous season at minute wise. I mean, season 3 was the shortest one by far. And if let's say double the length of that, that's a pretty good investment in time right there. That's going to be a lot of stories. I don't know. HWAD asks here, why does Netflix take fucking ages to do shit even pre-pandemic? I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's just because they give the creatives like as much freedom as they want, and that ends up taking a lot of time. Whereas I think they're going to start really kind of like stepping it up. It's like, for example, the Witcher, it took 2 years between season 1 and season 2, obviously because of the pandemic. They're already filming season 3 right now. And I guarantee you season 4 is going to be right on the fucking horizon. So they're going to start really ramping this stuff out. I mean, that's also why for, let's say, Rebel Moon, they're shooting part 1 and part 2 back to back. So they're shooting 6 months from April until November. They're filming literally like a 4-hour movie, or 4-hour story. And that's kind of what's going to be happening, I think, with this kind of stuff. So obviously they have more planned. They do say here that the season 5 will be ending Stranger Things. However, they've got more exciting stories to tell, new mysteries, new adventures, and new unexpected heroes. This is, in my mind, this is still Netflix's one of their most, probably ultimately their most important brand, because this one has been able to live on in merchandise more so than a lot of other shows. Like, I've actually got the first 2 seasons on Blu-ray, like in their big VHS set, because they have like the old like 80s box set for VHS. Season 3, as far as I can tell, hasn't come out yet that I've seen. Hopefully soon before this one comes out, they'll drop that. And then they do a whole bunch of merch, and that's going to be where a lot of money is. So they don't want to screw this one up. Not at all. So anyway, let's get into finally, after all this time, we can get into the now or never. It's cow or never. The Peacemaker finale.
I just sent something that could also go along with their discussion about this episode here.
Let's see here. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. But I think, when what we're looking at here is so we are going to get into spoiler territory, just as an FYI. All right, how long will this take? Well, Reed, this is going to wind down the show. So this is going to be the thing. So if you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. This is an hour and 7 minutes into this episode. Come on back, and you'll be able to listen then. So I appreciate that there, buddy. But anyway, yeah, we're in spoiler territory. Let's begin on this. First and foremost, it's an excellent finale to an excellent season. And the show is really, really, really great. And I'm bummed that it's over. I tell you, because coming off of the Book of Boba Fett, I was kind of defeated after the Book of Boba Fett. I was a little bit bummed out.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, at least I have Peacemaker to look forward to. And Peacemaker didn't disappoint. So I'm very happy that it didn't disappoint. Still a little salty over fucking...
End with a bang.
It did end with a bang. And it also ended by absolutely destroying the narrative that so many people have built up in their mind. Because I said it in the title. All right, I said it in the title. This proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that the Snyderverse is over. This proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that the keys are firmly in the hands of the creatives over at Warner Brothers, and very much with James Gunn. You do not do what happened last night and not have plans for the future. So, I mean, would you agree?
I mean, definitely. I mean, it's kind of hard to really say, but I mean, definitely looks like that, because obviously we know that Zach's over on Netflix. Ray and Ben are both kind of done until certain circumstances. Well, Ben is definitely done for what we know. Ray is only done until he gets an apology from Hamada and other executives that wronged him. So it's like, and plus the canon is 2017 Justice League. So I mean, it makes sense that's gonna stick.
But Andy Muschietti liked the Snyder cut supposedly and reworked the Flash to be in line with, I don't know where the fuck that came from. There were a couple super chats though, real quick, from HBarts here. I'll get to one right now, and we'll get to the other one as we get to the big reveal of the night. I just don't want to jump too far ahead. So he says here, Peacemaker had a more consistent runtime and was better than most Disney Plus shows outside of Mando, WandaVision, and Loki. That's true.
Agreed.
The way James Gunn structured the season actually felt like it was a show. It didn't feel like it was something that was, again, I think 8 episodes is a good number to have. This 6-episode shit with Disney's got to stop.
Dude, oh my
Expand it
God.
outward.
Yes.
Give more time to play around, because like they've been having trouble with establishing the narrative, establishing the characters and the
Fleshing
overall plot.
everything out.
Yeah. And
Six episodes
Hawkeye
isn't
needed like
enough.
2 more episodes, like hands down.
Dude,
So did Loki. Falcon and Winter Soldier could use another episode to really kind of.
I don't know if that would save that show.
Well, I mean, it
know.
needed some more plot development, absolutely.
needed
But
a
then again, they
lot
cut out.
more.
Well, they cut out a whole plot point with Falcon and Winter Soldier because it was about a virus and the pandemic. So there was a bit there that was taken. Even stuff with the WandaVision was cut short. It was supposed to be 10 episodes, ended up only being 9 because of the pandemic. So, the first year was a bit rough because they had to kind of adjust a lot of that stuff. They had to really adjust a lot of it and figure it all out. And I'm hoping going forward it's going to be a bit smoother. So this is the thing, right? So just kind of talking, there you go. A little bit. This is the best part of the episode, in my opinion.
Oh my gosh.
I was gonna go through and like really go through the whole episode. I just like, nah, fuck that. No one cares about that. Overall, like the episode summarized everything with the butterflies pretty well. I thought that the fact that it was a gigantic kaiju, another one, was pretty damn funny, showing us that the cosmic side of the DCEU is alive and well. James Gunn did launch the cosmic side of the Marvel movies, and so it only seems about right that he's doing it here, but just doing it with fucking kaiju, because now he's 2 for 2.
Great. He's doing it really well. Dude, he's doing it incredibly well.
Oh yeah. And it worked out well because, like, again, like, these guys are on their own. They didn't know what was going on. They're going up against this alien invasion of these butterflies. And they're like, all right, we gotta save the world. And this is how they do it, by taking out the cow. And I just love the fact that it looked like the creature from Monsters vs. Aliens. And it felt like that. But what I thought was really kind of cool was they were trying to develop a teleportation device to put it to the East Coast base. And then, of course, like, just, I loved fucking Economos when he went down there, and he's just like, he sees it for the first time, and he's like, oh, not another fucking kaiju. And he just like takes off running.
Dude, I fucking died laughing. Dude, they did, like, James Gunn is doing this, man, so dirty. He literally jumps over a fence and breaks his fucking leg. Like, come on. Come on.
Yeah.
Well,
what was great too is also Lord Slugger says Economos' speech near the end was heartbreaking. It was, because that was like a lot of, that was really good for him right there. Dude. That was really good for him. Because like, I don't dye my beard. And then he has to cop to it in a moment, or else,
telling right there. You lead up with a joke, how everyone shits on his jokes. It's a joke the whole time, and then he kind of explains the whole reasoning and does it. And now it's like, bro, why am I getting emotional over your dye beard?
And no, it was good. Stevie G finally got a little bit of character development. And, and the thing is, like, he basically got to say, like, look, it hurts my feelings when you say this. And so, like, he got to kind of express himself, and they don't hate him. He's part of the team. They're going to love him. Yeah. And what was great about that was just like how they go rushing in this stuff right here, of course, playing Do You Really Want to Taste It? And the fact that there was a callback to the opening track of the opening credits was fantastic. And I just loved that, like, the 3 of them, like, especially Vigilante, was just like fucking slicing them all up and shit. Dude. What was hysterical though is, in my mind, I'm like, wait a minute though, like, if you kill them and you don't shoot them in the head, the butterfly comes out of their mouth.
Yeah,
so
that's what I was
like,
thinking as well.
He was decapitating those people. There's going to be a lot of butterflies flying around at that point. They killed a few of them, but there was still a whole bunch more. Season 2 might have, well, I don't know. I don't know if season 2 is going to have a bit more or not. But what I thought was,
I think what they're going to do is they're probably going to like start season 2 with them finishing off their butterflies and going into the next kind of big plot.
Probably. Yeah. Well, whatever. And we don't know what's going to happen next with Argus or Task Force X or whatever. What I thought was really great though was just like, they go in there, and it's, the different helmets were really funny. Like the anti-grav helmet, and then trying to like put the sonic boom with a radio and like have Eagly drop it on the top of the roof of the barn.
Eagly is such a fucking asshole. It's like, all right, I'll pick it up. Yeet.
Yeah. Oh,
Eagly's such a great character.
that
Like,
was that part. That part was
dude,
really funny.
I was so nervous. Like, bro, if they kill Eagly or Eagly gets shot, I will completely get so upset because Eagly is such a badass character, and like he's probably one of. I love Eagly.
Well, that's the thing. I'm glad, like when he got knocked down,
Oh,
Peacemaker
dude,
is like,
pissed me
you
off.
killed Eagly, and then he's all praying to God, and then Eagly comes back and gives him a big hug.
I was like so sad. Dude, I was so sad after that until he hugged him. I was like, bro, did they really just do that? Did he really just bitch slap Eagly and he's dead now? Like that just hurt my heart so bad.
No, they did a good job with Eagly as a character. Weta Digital did a great job doing the CG on that. I really enjoyed, again, just the episode kind of going. I mean, what was good about the finale here was that it started off with them going to go after the cow, and the whole episode was about them going after the cow. So it didn't have like that kind of unnecessary, and this is one of the problems with the Book of Boba Fett. It had that
Yes.
unnecessary buildup, and then like there was moments where things kind of felt like they just stopped halfway through, right?
Yeah.
So, but at least with this one, it was like, all right, let's go and then fuck all these guys up. What I really enjoyed though was when they went down, or when Peacemaker ran off to go and kind of like confront the cow, and then you got Harcourt and Vigilante, and they just get fucked up. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
like I thought like I didn't think Vigilante was gonna die, but like when he gets like shot in the back, and then he's like, oh yeah, and then he just falls over. We're like, oh shit, and then Harcourt just gets like tore the hell up.
I thought she died.
I thought she was gonna die, and then like that was like
She
the
was
fucking.
coughing up a lot of blood. I was like, oh
Well,
no.
I thought maybe one had gotten to her, because there was a bit in the last episode where when she was holding the alien Mern's corpse,
Yeah.
and like Judo Master came on in and ended up kicking her, and she flew over the bar or the island in the kitchen. She was holding the corpse of like of Mern. So part of me was like, did she end up like, was Mern still alive? Did she just ingest Mern at that point in time?
No,
And
maybe
then no, they didn't, because they would
he
have shown it.
died. Well,
Yeah, he
Murd
died.
died. He died. Which also fuck Joff. Fuck Joff for doing
Goff,
that to Mur. Goff. Oh my god. There's
Joff,
too many.
Joff Johns, Joff.
God,
Oh,
why do
there
you
we
have
go, guys. We
Oh
figured it
shit!
out.
I did it. I did it. Oh lord, I did it. All right, but no, honestly, oh, that hurt my that was like, bro. How can I feel like emotion for? I was like, that. That's what's crazy about the story. It's like the whole point of it is like these butterflies are evil, but then one's on our side and it dies. So now we feel empathetic and sad about losing this particular butterfly. But guess what? Fuck all the other butterflies. It's like it's
Well,
so
the thing with that
crazy.
is though, but when Goff was explaining the plan, and then Goff was like pleading, his case
Crying.
to Peacemaker, it's like there was a lot there that like you're kind of going like, oh yeah, like right, we
Mhm.
do give in to tribalism, we do give in to like people do not, they do discount science, they discount like global
Oh
warming, and
yeah.
I mean, it was clearly a criticism about our society. And then here's this alien creature, like, we'll just do the make the hard choices. You guys don't want to. But then when they say like, and we'll, we don't care how many lives we have to take to get there. I mean, clearly repeating back Peacemaker's mantra to him about like, I don't care how many men, women, and children I have to kill in order to achieve peace. Here, when he actually said activate, human torpedo, and he launches Adebayo into the fucking cow, he did actually live up to his mantra, because he's
Hmm.
having peace with the aliens, right? Destroying that threat. And he doesn't care how many men, women, and children he has to kill, because but it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, right? Where it's like, obviously people would die if the butterflies had their way, they'd take over the people's bodies. But then there's also going to be people who are going to die as a result of his actions there too. Cause global
Hmm.
warming, climate change, things
Sense
like
of
that.
ignorance of overall like societal ignorance, which I think it's like it's so funny how all these shows have talk about like really important social issues and like we need to stop this, otherwise we're just gonna all end ourselves. But then we're just like watching and go, huh, that's pretty funny, and then move on and just like not actually take note. Like, yeah, these are some pretty serious issues, but
Yeah.
like
Well,
it's
Fandom
great.
NSLs here says, I felt like Goff's speech at the end was directed at COVID idiots. It was.
dude.
It
Yeah,
absolutely was.
yeah, and
You know,
yeah, I know that one line that Goff says. I'm like, yeah, that's definitely towards vaccinations and stuff like that.
yeah. Well, yeah. RBK here says Goff was clearly shitting on a certain right side party when giving the butterflies. Yeah, no, absolutely was. And I think that's lost on a lot of people today. To be fair, I think that's lost on a lot of people. I haven't seen what the Fandom Menace has said in regards to any of this. I have no idea.
Oh,
I haven't looked. I
what a
haven't
shit
looked
show.
because everything else has been a shit show on the Snyder side of things.
Oh
It's
my
been an
god,
absolute
yeah.
shit
I
show.
feel like that's taken more
Well,
focus
that's
than like
absolutely taking over the
Jeremy or someone else
conversation. Yeah.
says. Because I
Well,
mean, it's they definitely
we
avoid
can
one.
just get to this part right here. This is what everyone's talking
Oh,
about today, right?
yeah, yeah.
So what we got here is obvious. I was like, wow, I was really shocked when I saw this
I
because I'm like,
I was
holy, because
spoiled by
this wasn't.
RJ.
Well, this wasn't who the fuck I was thinking he was going to be there. You know, I figured there'd be a cameo. There's always kind of a cameo, but I thought it
Hmm.
might be like Bloodsport showing up too late, or maybe even like I don't know. I wouldn't say
I
Harley
don't think
Quinn.
Bloods. No, I don't think it would be any of them because they all like took out their tracker and went out and went on their own. They I don't think they would have anything to do. And obviously Waller had probably called them in because I mean Adebayo said call the Justice League or something like that. Bad shit's about to go down. So Waller most likely called the Justice League. So I don't think it would be Bloodsport or any of those people from the
Well,
Suicide
but
Squad.
remember though, like there was mentions of Justice League, I think early on in the season as well.
Yeah, there
And
were callbacks.
so it's like certain things where like they may not, because remember they're meant to handle like the massive problems, right? Like the
Yeah,
extraterrestrial stuff. This was very much a cataclysmic event, very much an extraterrestrial
towards
kind of
the end, I
yeah, but
guess.
they wouldn't know about it and everything else. And so, but I just thought this was great because like what I loved is that like he didn't stop. He just kind of he went
He
by
just didn't give a fuck.
and just cussed them out. You
Dude,
know,
that was so fun. It was so great because it's like
go
the
fuck
whole
another fish, asshole.
yeah, because the whole time it's been constantly talking about Aquaman fucking fish, and then finally Aquaman is here. It's like it's a perfect culmination of a season long joke, and then saying it right to the person's face, and his reaction with Ezra was great. And
I just loved
it
it.
was
Like,
great,
yeah, we just get the shot of Jason. It's actually Jason. I thought it was because I look at this first. I'm
dude.
like, okay, it's just going to be silhouette of actors. Like, we're not going to get
Yeah.
their actual face, right?
I
And then
thought more or less it would be Ezra because I know for the longest time everyone's like it's probably gonna be Ezra, but like no, it was also Jason, which is really cool.
just the fact that it's Jason there, and and he's just all like, "Go fuck another fish, asshole." I'm so fucking tired of that rumor. And then it just pans over, and then there's Barry, like, yeah, it's not a rumor, like, and then the
Fuck you,
fuck you,
Barry.
Barry.
Dude, that is so great. Like, I was not expecting them to like pull like "fuck you, Barry" and shit like that. I was like, oh my gosh, like that, like it's funny as hell, but like it's really cool because I mean, obviously, in the new Flash teasers and all that, we see Flash with a new suit, but in this, he's still wearing the Snyder suit, which I just label it because that's kind of what he first started off with in the movies, and then Aquaman's over here flashing, the Aquaman suit from James Wan, not the Justice League suits or anything. He's flashing
Yep.
that the nice suit. And I love this suit. I definitely love the suit for Aquaman.
No, it looks really good. I mean, obviously, H bar here for $5. This is like the first super chat of the night, by the way. I just wanted to hold on to it till we got to this point. Saying here, Cavill is still Superman, just not able to show up, same as Gal. Well, the thing is, though, is we knew that Gal was filming as a Wonder Woman back in like August, so she could have done something here. But really, what it boils down to is this: the Flash and Aquaman both have movies coming out this year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they were here. The Flash now has also been on the CW show and this
Like
show
years
a
ago.
couple years ago. Yeah, so he's been able to make his way through the clearly that's all going to tie into everything.
Mm-hmm. This
But I
just makes sense. This just makes sense for the two people that we see here, and that's entirely what I've been saying all day. These two are the only people in the Justice League that actually have active projects coming up. And so obviously they're actively in their roles. Cavill's not Superman right now. Gal is, we don't know what's up with that when they're doing Wonder Woman 3 or what the hell they're doing that with the future of that character. So it's like, and then Batman's not there because Ben's out, and then Cyborg's out because Hamada and all that stuff. So it's like the two people that are actually working on projects are shown here and they're acting, which is, it makes sense, and it's done right. But they still showed the effort with Superman, Wonder Woman. and it makes sense for if you think about it.
Well, no, that's true. I think like with Gal, we know she's going to be doing Wonder Woman 3. We just don't know when. So there's that's coming. Henry, this looks like Henry, although a bit smaller. This
Yeah, I was
actor,
about to
whoever
say
they
real
got,
skinny.
whoever, I don't know if it's all CG. It could be all CG. It could be an actor on a wire, but it does look a little bit smaller, not as big as Henry is. And obviously, though, but it still has the same kind of profile look. And so I feel like that's what they're
Mhm.
going for. Obviously, they still want to work with the Justice League. It does feel
Of
like
course.
when it comes to Superman, they have just kind of let him go off by the wayside. They're, with like Shazam 2 or Shazam's cameo, and now this, people have been talking about Henry Cavill. Look, as I keep fucking telling people, the problem here is not Cavill. The problem here is Danny Garcia. This is, I think they're holding all of their cards on this one because they want to bring in Superman to like Black Adam 2 or maybe even Black Adam. I don't
It's
quite know.
also appearances. That was the whole thing with Shazam. He didn't want his last appearance to be just a cameo, like a 5 seconds in Shazam. And I don't think, even if Cavill was contacted about this, I don't think he would want to waste an appearance on screen for 5 seconds and just hovering over the ground.
Yeah.
So I mean, but the effort's still there. It's still showing that Superman's still in the game. It's not Supergirl or something like that. It's Superman, and obviously we can insinuate that it's Gal as Wonder Woman over there. So it's like, yeah, they're not actively doing stuff right now that we know of, but they're still there. We know, we remember them. They're still in the universe. We haven't forgot about them. We just can't obviously have the actors there because there's just not stuff going on. But the two actors that are doing stuff, we have there, and we have a little quick dialogue, and still showing that there's still somewhat of a Justice League there. But obviously there's the issue with Cyborg and Batman. It was like Batman's a huge, like probably one of the most important characters of the Justice League, so that's gonna be a huge kind of a conundrum there and shit like that. But the effort was there, and I definitely appreciate them. I thought it was a great job the way they handled this scene.
Oh no, I do agree. I think part of the issue, when I talk about like when I titled the stream, when I titled it, you have to look at it from the most like I want to say kind of like objective like way of going forward is obviously Warner Brothers is in support of what he did here. The popularity of the show, and I think they said that it's like the most in demand show
Mm-hmm.
on streaming right now, especially with this ending is going to up it for season 2. And obviously everyone's on board wanting to do it. They want to tell stories here. James Gunn works well within this particular area. So no, I don't think he's going to be doing a Superman
Justice
movie
League,
or a Justice
no,
League movie.
I
Like I
don't
could
think it
see
would
James
work.
Wan doing it. I could see James Wan doing it, but I couldn't see
That's
Gunn
just
isn't going
not
to want to
his.
do that.
Yeah, no, that's just not his forte. I mean, he does so well with like side sort of main characters, like Guardians are like not main, like the main Avengers, but they're an important part of it. Like he does so well with these side characters, and he connects them well with the main cast. So it just is like he's right in his niche, and it just makes sense.
Yeah. No, I agree. Well, Benson here for £5. Thanks, buddy. Says people have zoomed in on the Superman image, saying it looks like a skirt. What do you think? Cavill is going to be announced as James Bond, I am sure. Cavill was, I don't believe, going to be James Bond. Not with Argyle going into its. They're doing a trilogy of Argyle films, which is going to be another super spy. Napoleon Solo, this Argyle character for a new franchise, or James Bond. I don't see him being James Bond. I just don't. I'm sorry. That's my take. I could be wrong. I don't see it. However, it's not a skirt. If you look, you can see that there is the light shining on the arm right there by the cape. It kind of looks like a skirt until you realize where the light source is. And that's what's kind of that's what's right there. It's a weird silhouette, I'll be honest with you, but no, it's not him wearing a skirt. It just feels like it's just a different the angle of it looks kind of weird because his head, what it is also, you got to realize is that like his body is still relatively turned towards the barn and it's his head that is turned back. It's not like his top.
It's just really awkward.
It's an
The way
awkward
they
look,
did
but
that.
that's really about what it is. So, I don't quite know. I don't see a skirt though.
The main
But
thing I took from this is that he's wearing the suit from the 2017 Justice League film,
yeah.
which is cool and it makes sense because it's the canon. They considered the 2017 version canon, which I saw a lot of shit about it. He's like, he's wearing that suit. I'm like, bro, I can't.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I was asked here about the whole Ezra and Jason thing. To summarize, because James Gunn did give an interview with Variety and they did break it down. They had when they were writing it, they went to Momoa and they told him, "Hey man, there's a lot of jokes here about you fucking fish." And and then they were afraid that he was going to be upset. Well, Momoa was like one of the chillest dudes ever. So Momoa was laughing, he was cool, and he was on board to come in and have a bit of fun. And then Ezra, James had found out that there's some common friends that Ezra liked his movies. So then James just asked Ezra if he wanted to come in and shoot the scene. And they actually shot that little bit while they were on set for shooting Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which I know pissed a lot of people off today because they were anything they could nitpick about this scene that they wanted to nitpick. Now, then the question did go, he says, what was there any conversation about Gal or Henry? And he says, I don't really think so. I really thought it was just going to be Jason, and Ezra was more like a little extra thing because I found he was interested. So they never talked to Gal or Henry from what it says, from what it implies here. And then asking why weren't Batman and Cyborg in the group? And he says, I don't know what I can. There are reasons for it, but I'm actually uncertain whether I can say what those reasons are. I might have to do with future stuff. So, I mean, now that's the thing is with Batman, it has everything to do with the Batman coming out in a couple weeks. That's going to cause problems. If Batman is here and then Batman in theaters, I'm telling you, that's a major concern. But then you get the Flash at the end of the year, which is going to have Keaton and Affleck. So, who is going to be the Batman going forward post the Flash? That's going to be Keaton. So that's probably why Batman isn't here, because if we do get this again, it is going to be Keaton as Batman, not Affleck. I think that's a pretty fair assessment at that point.
Yeah.
But additionally, on the Cyborg thing, that has everything to do with Ray Fisher. And let me just, again, for the record, let me just say this for the record, because I've seen a lot of revisionist history today. Ray Fisher quit. Ray Fisher quit. He was offered the role. He turned it down with good reason. With good reason. And yes, he is owed his apology. All right. I stand by that. But he chose to walk away. So I think that there was a conscious effort made to not include him, because just imagine how much more bullshit there would be online if they would have had the silhouette or recast and not had Ray Fisher himself there.
It would have been, oh my God, my phone would have just died at that point.
Yeah. I mean, HWAD here makes a great point. Saying here, Geralt, Mercury, and Max are insufferable right now on these cameos. Oh no, I know they are. This is, but the reason why I haven't
seen what Max has done, but
I haven't seen. I'm a little. I'll probably check it out later. I'll probably check it out later on. But here's the thing with this though. The reason why I believe I'm correct about Cyborg is because of what the discourse was coming off of this fucking scene, which ties in to this tweet right here from our pal Caden, who I get. So he put this out today and he said, James Gunn erases POC characters. Like obviously he's trolling with it, right? And then shows images of Adebayo, Bloodsport, Myrn, and Waller. All kick-ass characters, by the way. Love Adebayo. Fucking love Adebayo. Love Myrn. Love all these characters. But it's true. So many people. Look at that there. 627 retweets. 161 quote tweets. And 7,500 likes. It's like Caden's biggest tweet. And so many people are fucking pissed at this comic because they're trying to argue that because there was no Cyborg in this shot, that James Gunn erases people of color. They've been trying to make that argument that it's just Justice League 2.0. And it's like, no, here are characters of color and LGBT representation, different perspectives that were brought in that were talked about. They called out racists. They technically killed the white dragon, a grand dragon, of like, of a bad racist villain and shit, like while making fun of white supremacy. I mean, they had a whole like, call out COVIDiots bit there at the end and shit. And yeah, because James Gunn is an unabashed fucking liberal. And so he put his own politics in there, but it made sense for the story. And people are having trouble with this. And the reason why is because Zack Snyder himself is not fucking involved. Like, that's why they are upset. And it's hysterical to watch the amount of craziness that came out over this fucking tweet. I thought we would take a look at it here. Let me just make sure that it's all good to go. All right. So just bringing this up here. Okay. We can see this is the tweet. All right. Let me actually just do that so it's a bit easier to read. Bit bigger there. Okay. So we got a lot of people that are talking about it here, right? Caden here giving his explanation. Some people were defending him. Actually, I think, all right, like War Turtle here says, these guys are showing the true colors right now, just piggybacking off of Ray's issues and not caring about POC at all, just spamming their hashtag. And there was a lot of that today too. There was a lot of people I saw get rightfully called out by trying to invoke Ray Fisher, and they used hashtag restore the Snyderverse, but not hashtag I stand with Ray Fisher. Did you catch that at all?
Yeah, I saw that a lot.
So, I mean, there was so many people I saw today. Let's take out some of the quote tweets here. So many people I saw today that were going crazy about this, right? Yeah. See, some people here, like this guy here says, why do you act like saying black is bad? Even, like it's really, really, really funny. At least James Gunn understands the characters. I mean, I think a lot of this though is kind of like prop for Caden here, but it's true. He was really pissed off at this. Let me see if I can get to the search here. Okay. Let's see if I just type in restore the Snyderverse. All right. So there's, yeah. All right. Like even Ryan, right? Zebra Fett. Oh, this is what we deserve to see. Well, you could have seen it. You could have seen it, Ryan, if your boy Ray would have opted to work with Walter Hamada. Because here's a little factoid for you. All right. Walter Hamada is the one who went to James Gunn about doing a television show for HBO Max. Right? Walter Hamada is responsible for fucking Peacemaker. And then, you know what? I understand why Ray doesn't want to work with them, but everyone's all bitching and moaning about this. But again, Ray Fisher fucking quit. He fucking quit. And he absolutely, like, and if anyone tells you otherwise, all right, like, just, you know what you do? You just send them the number for AFSP. That's what you do. You just send them to go, here's what you need, bro. Call this number, find Jesus, move on with your fucking day. That's really what it boils down to here. So many fucking people are crazy. All right. Yeah, you got like the truth here. I mean, he kind of freaking out on this shit? He says something today, right? Like, oh yeah, look, new video. Let's talk about Peacemaker cameo. Disrespectful. How is that disrespectful? Is it because I'm not going to watch the video, because the last time we watched one of his videos, he like got mad, I think. I don't know. But no, how is it disrespectful? Right? Look at this here. CGI Mouse Superman, Headless Cameo Superman, ICU admitted Superman, and now Shadow Superman. What a time to be a Superman fan. Hey, you got Superman and Lois on CW and HBO Max, right? Yeah, like, and again, this has everything to do.
It's just about Cavill.
Yeah, it is about Cavill, but this is
Superman.
Again, this is everything to do with the negotiations between his agent and Warner Brothers. So they're keeping Cavill there without getting rid of him, but the placeholder shit will only last for so long. What else we got here? Let's see. Okay. There's like a whole bunch of stuff here that you just start noticing like how many people spam this shit. I saw some guy today get all like, we gotta keep the faith. And he's like, Knights of Snyder need to unite. I'm like, Knights of Snyder? That motherfucker, so like, what are you doing? Are you gonna like, if Zack Snyder rolls up and it's like, yeah, like, you want to dab on these nuts, and they'll be like, dip marinara, sir. I'll lick them clean. It doesn't make any fucking sense. like the cope. But again, you see here, like, look, this guy right here, you're gonna probably see a lot of that. See, he just keeps spamming it and
Yeah.
spamming it and spamming it. You got let's see, this guy here says they're not hold on, he's responding like again, so many fucking, I'm not gonna read all that shit. Oh, okay. Flash film news, what does this guy say? This works surprisingly well, and it's like, ugh, it's not black suit Superman. My life is ruined. My life is over. Okay, I'm just gonna mute this fucking guy. Jesus Christ, Don Max Jr.
Holy shit! Like that guy it's just like sends a picture of his coffee or tweets a picture of him drinking coffee and restores Snyderverse. Like, bro, fucking give it a break, man.
Yeah. It's so many people here, right? So like, you can have humor without resorting to toilet jokes or a simple fuck you, not fuck you. Hashtag boycott WB. That's the whole point.
Lord.
Is like they're just upset. They're just like, you can't, like, oh, jokes, right? But then if you go and you look at like the humor from the nightmare scene in the Snyder Cut, the Joker is talking about giving Batman
Fucking
a reach around. By the way, the reach around aspect of that, a reach around is penetration of the butt, and then additionally jerking off the person that you are penetrating in the butt. So we're not talking about just giving Batman a hand job. We're talking about full on anal sex in a consensual fashion. So Batman gay?
But Snyder did it. Okay, it's okay. Stop it. Don't you bring that up. It's all James Gunn, okay?
Yeah. Let me see if I can find the Peacemaker. There we go. Okay, there's a reason why it's called Rotten Tomatoes. It's that Chris Hunter guy, right?
Yeah, but he probably was like,
it's currently number one. It's currently number one on there.
Not over my Zack Snyder's Justice League. But yeah, as soon as it came out and the audience score was high, he probably like fucking retweeted that shit constantly. It's like, this is what we deserve.
It's just that's see, look, Justice League is back. Oh my god, it's over, you guys. Let's see, DC Peacemaker, not everyone, the show sucks. Fuck you for ruining Justice League. Like, who's this guy right here? Again, release the AR cut. And you can look at a lot of these profiles and just outright see. Here we go. Sorry, I didn't see you back there, Saggy. What's up, Saggy?
Oh, I heard y'all were looking for some proper black representation.
Well, why are you here?
For the black representation that y'all need.
Yeah, but like, weren't you earlier saying that like you were light skinned and you didn't feel like you were represented enough?
First of all, no.
Okay.
Second of all,
okay.
I came here to be the black representation.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're doing your country proud. You're doing a
doing my people proud.
Doing your people proud. That's right. But anyway, so what exactly you've been following this shit all fucking day. Right?
Oh, yeah.
You've had your you trolled them pretty good earlier with your James Gunn is better than Zack Snyder space. That was pretty funny.
Oh, I was trying to bait them so bad.
Oh no, she changes her name on the space. It was something more benign, and then she changed it to James Gunn is better than Zack Snyder. And fucking Nicotina, dude, 2 seconds he was there, right? Like 2 seconds he came. Which is probably not the first time, but like he was there so fast.
Wow.
And then was like, it's so funny.
Wow. Yeah, it was pretty funny. I was heated though. I was more heated because I was lurking between watching multiple streams, and I saw you going over Caden's tweet, and that's what really set me off. Because all of the black people mad at Caden, who they don't know is also a black person, using the term person of color. And I'm like, y'all don't know how to read. Like, he was mocking people. You don't even know the situation, but they were so big mad at him. And then all the people crying over not having Cyborg in the scene. And I'm like,
doesn't make fucking sense, bro.
Why would Ray Fisher be there? He quit. He walked away. He's shooting Rebel Moon, and he already stated he's not coming back because he won't work with Walter Hamada. So why anyone would be upset by not seeing Ray Fisher is just dumb.
Oh yeah. Well, a lot of people, again, they're just like, they don't understand. Like, they think Ray was fired. They think that he was blacklisted. No, he's working for 6 months with Zach on
Right
this
now.
movie on Rebel
Right now.
Moon. They're getting ready to start filming pretty soon in April. And then after that, he'll probably end up working with Zach on whatever else Zach does. I mean, and then from there, that can open doors to other projects. I mean, even like Wayne T. Carr has said that just by being the body double of Jon Stewart, not actually Jon Stewart, it wasn't even going to be anything, that you could utilize. I'm sorry, because there's SAG rules with that. Nothing against Wayne, but I have to always remind people that it's like, they just,
Bet
he
you'll
was
be
never
Rebel
gonna.
Moon.
He'll be and I'm hoping he's in Rebel Moon. I'm hoping he's got a part in Rebel Moon. I don't know how
Right.
big of a part he'll have, but I'm hoping he's in it. I want to see the guy act. I've only seen a sizzle reel on IMDb, and it was okay, but it wasn't serious work. Look at here. Andres Mo says, and not to mention James Gunn and Warner Brothers focusing on lame ass character like DC Peacemaker instead of continuing with the Snyderverse, right? I stand like all this shit, right? And I guarantee you. Look at this here, right? Aspiring chemistry professor. Okay, cool. And then his hashtags are I stand with Ray Fisher, Snyderverse, and boycott WB. Doesn't this all kind of like, I mean, it just seems so freaking kind of hypocritical,
It is,
or
'cause
oxymoronic.
Yeah, because they want the Snyderverse to be restored, and they're going to boycott it, which is going to cost them money. If so, put it this way: let's pretend this boycott actually is successful. Okay, now WB's out of money. They don't have any money because everyone's boycotted, right? And boycotts take a while before companies actually cave in, which means this company is going to lose some money. They won't even be able to afford to get Zach back to make a movie because now they have no money because all the boycotts pretty much put them into bankruptcy.
Yeah.
So they'd be scrapping at scraps. So it's like everything that's happening is just, it's silly because if people support Ray Fisher and they support Zach and both of them are working on a new project, that's where this energy should be going towards, making Zach's project Rebel Moon the biggest thing ever. If you want him to come back, you want DC and WB to have them back, you need to give them a reason to see Zach and Ray being double the success that DC is and WB is, and then DC and WB like, crap, we need them back, and find a way to do it.
Yeah. Well, but I think at this point, it's fair to say Zach's out. He's done. He ain't coming back. All right. And like, that's fine. But if you look at what we got last night, establishes that and I thought they were just going to start like, we didn't know if Peacemaker was even in the Justice League universe, because there was talk about it being full of variants when we had the movie come out last year. Because it was kind of a bit connected. It wasn't a sequel. It wasn't a reboot. It was in that weird gray area. Is how they kept trying to argue it. Do you remember that, Saggy?
Mm-hmm.
So now we know like that's not the case at all. We know that it exists in at least the 2017 world, which I do think is a problem. I think they should have it tie in with the Snyder Cut. I think that would be the better course of action. That would kind of give you the best of both worlds. But at the same time, they're also trying to move past it because they've been saying this now for a long while, that it's only a cul-de-sac and that it's going to be its own pocket universe and it's just going to stay there. And I think that's a bad call, 100%.
Well, if I may, sir.
Yes, you may. We can disagree here.
Well, no, I was going to say, I do feel like this is in the same universe right now. But I do feel like we don't know what's going to happen in the Flash movie, because I do really feel like if this is kind of going on the lines of Flashpoint, I do feel like this is their attempt at kind of going back and undoing everything and redoing it. And when I say that, I'm saying that like they're obviously going to keep Jason Momoa. They're going to keep Ezra. Obviously they're going to keep Gal Gadot. I feel like they're going to do this because they're losing Ben for a while. I'm not going to say that Ben's completely out. I think right now he's out because he needs to get his body and his mind right. He could sometime down the line change his mind, but I'll say right now Ben's out. Ray Fisher's out. Now they can recast Ray Fisher, but my whole point is I think they want to redo everything and redo the Justice League to have them come back, unite in another way and go from there. But I do feel like this is technically, you can still maybe consider this, fans should probably maybe consider this still in the same universe until Flash undoes everything.
Yeah. Well, again, it probably. Look at this one here. James Gunn says, press play on Peacemaker. Want a question answered from me or the cast? Use this. And this guy here says, Spartan of Steel. Jesus Christ. Will not allow you to disrespect Aquaman, motherfucker. Because that sounds like a normal fucking person.
Yeah, and you censor yourself.
The cameo was shit. I know. The cameos were shit. My God. You know.
I thought the cameo was.
Oh God! Stop.
But the thing is,
bro, it's not.
The thing that's annoying is like so full disclosure, I haven't seen Peacemaker, and the only reason why I'm talking about it is because the controversy. Because that's what I do. I talk about the controversies, even if I don't have to fully see the show. But the thing is, that I will get out of this, because I did see the scene, right? Now, I remember Peacemaker. He's kind of an anti-hero, right? So he's a little edgy. He swears. So it was fitting for Aquaman to be that like have that persona. And the fish joke was like just a joke. It was supposed to be fun, and people are mad at it. But it's like it was fun. Why can't it just be fun? Why does everything have to be like canon for you? Like nothing. It doesn't always have to be canon for you.
Well, I think it does. I think it does. I think we are at a point now where we have seen that an interconnected universe, and I'm not saying it has to be homogenous. All right. Like it does have to have some overlap, but it can have different tones. You can have different styles, right? And it can work, but it still has to feel like it's all part of the same thing. That's because people want there to be connectivity, because they've experienced it now for a long time. And it's not just Marvel and the MCU. It's like we have 9 Fast and fucking Furious movies with a spinoff. So 10 total films, right? And there's more to come. There's the 7 seasons of Arrow, never mind Flash, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, Black Lightning, Batwoman, and I don't know if I'm probably missing one. Like those are all relatively, I mean, for the most part, they're connected. So we've seen this play out for a long time. So for the movies to come out and go, meh, it throws it for a loop, because they've already established that this is the way that they're going. So I think they do owe it to themselves to to maintain that connection, but you can experiment. You can go out there and do like a musical comedy on one or a dark noir on the other. And it still appeals to different aspects of the world we inhabit, because, like not everyone is going to have the same experience.
Right. But I mean, overall, it's a joke. Like at the end of the day, whether you want to look at it's a joke.
Yeah, we'll call it RPK says, Gunn said recently on the after show podcast for the finale that all of these things are in Peacemaker's head and they're not canon. Well, yeah, we know that. Like we know that all the things that he has said, he just he'll read about them on the internet. That was like jokes about like getting your information like you're going to get your information from memes on the internet, which is clearly making fun of like the 2020 election. So, it's all in his head. Like he's an outright liar. It was kind of like with part of the Polka Dot Man from Suicide Squad. Everyone loved Polka Dot Man, right? There's a lot of love and a lot of sympathy for Polka Dot Man. And James Gunn's like, no, he's a murderer, and his whole goal is to make you feel bad for him. And so he'll tell you whatever sob story you need to hear in order to make you feel bad for him. But he's still a bad guy. And I thought that was a really interesting way of going about it, because I'm like, oh yeah, okay, like that's different, that's new, where it's like these are in fact bad characters that are not the most reliable of narrators. But I think the thing with Peacemaker was it showing that, like he wanted to redeem himself, and he wanted to be better and to be part of a team, and so like that's kind of the emotional journey of the character and stuff, and what's going to be really funny is I'm really wondering in season 2, the inevitability that Harcourt and Peacemaker have sex. Is Gunn going to film that episode?
Oh,
wow, chicken, wow, wow.
Dude, no, stop.
Wait, what?
No, just no.
Did I miss something? I feel like I missed
No.
something.
Harcourt. Harcourt
Maybe-
is James. The actress is James Gunn's girlfriend.
Would that be considered being put in like a cuckold or you know?
I mean,
No.
I mean, there are a lot of directors
Not
who
weird.
have their spouses in projects where they have sex scenes, so it's not really weird or uncommon. Mila Jovovich, in the Resident Evil scenes where she had like love scenes with people, her husband was the director of the Resident Evil movies, so that might have been awkward, but that's what they do.
When did she? Only in the
She
first
had
one, I
like
believe.
I think she didn't have like a full on. No, she had in the beginning when they were showing her freaking oh my god, my brain fart, flashbacks of her with that dude. Then you find out that they were fake married and there were scenes of them in bed together.
Yeah. Well, the thing with that though is they weren't married at the time. In the first movie, they weren't married. They met each other on the first movie. They did get married. Paul W.S. Anderson directed the first, the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth movies in the franchise. And by the time, and number 5 was entirely pointless, but there wasn't any sex scenes in those.
Okay, bad example. Then Katie Seagal in Sons of Anarchy. She was married to him. The I forget his name, but the
no, she's still married.
Sutter.
She's still
Yeah,
she's
she's
still
still
married to
married.
Kurt Sutter. Yeah.
Yeah, but so
Yeah.
she did scenes like that
Yeah.
with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he was a showrunner. I don't know if he directed the episodes. Maybe he did. But
I think
they
he
have.
directed a few.
I don't think.
Well, no, he directed a bunch.
few,
He directed a bunch, but like,
he wrote that.
yeah. Well, he probably did write it too.
love them, by the way.
No, he's the creator of it. So yeah, he wrote all of it.
They have a really good relationship. I love Katie Seagal and I love everything that
Kurt
she's
Sutter.
in. Yeah, Kurt. I always forget his name. Kurt Sutter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Benson here says that Kate Beckinsale's husband filmed her sex scene in Underworld. That's right. Yeah. I don't know if they were married though. When they did Underworld, they got married at.
Can you imagine, Turbo, though? Can you imagine trying to film your girlfriend having a sex scene? Be like, all right, just pretend it's me.
Well, I mean, those scenes though are like, those scenes are very interesting in regards to how they kind of play out, right? Like it's just the way they're set up, the way you film them. Like a lot of that stuff is all done through the editing. It's all like it's very, there's like now there's intimacy coaches and there's things like that. And it's a whole production, and they'll remove all non-essential cast. So then, or crew. So then it's a more intimate set and whatever. It's like, it's kind of like Dakota Johnson, from being in 50 Shades of Grey. She was in an interview a few weeks ago where her dress kind of like rode up a little bit. You didn't see anything. And James Corden's like, do you need a blanket or a jacket or something? And she just kind of goes, it's nothing no one hasn't seen already.
Oof.
And I'm just like, well, yeah, sure. I mean, all right.
Have you ever seen Blue is the Warmest Color?
I've seen the important parts of Blue is the Warmest Color.
It's basically a porn. And that was real acting. Although they claim they use fake genitals, I'm like, nah, bro. There's no way that was fake genitals.
There is a subreddit called Extra Mile where it is all clips from movies where like these are like art house films, but you're like, not that's actual penetration, like, or that's this. It's like it's kind of weird. A lot of them are foreign, to be honest with you. A lot of fewer hang-ups about sex and nudity overseas. Just as an FYI.
Yeah, I mean, fun fact: if you want to see Shia LaBeouf get it on, there is a movie where he actually does have penetration.
There wasn't actual penetration on that movie. That was
how would you fake that? I saw the thing go in the thing.
That was no, they cut it. That was all digital. It's like Charlotte's Gainsborough in that scene. There's a scene where she gets like DP'd by two dudes, right? And you see it go in her front butt and her rear butt. And what it is like the way, so it's like, but they split the scene to where it's like, it was a porn star who was doing the actual penetration. And then they just cut it and masked it with her upper half. So you think like there's this, there's like even a scene where it's like Willem Dafoe was like, you see penetration with that. And it wasn't Willem Dafoe. It was, it was somebody else. So they used a lot of movie magic trickery to make you think that real. But there is a something called like, I think it's called like Short Bus or something from like 2006. And there's a lot of real stuff happening there.
Yo, are you
yeah.
telling me I don't know what's real anymore? So you tell me that we get fake sex scenes now? Like that just ruins porn for me completely. I don't know what's real anymore.
Well,
Holy
Sagi, I mean,
shit.
nothing you see in movies is ever real. Even in porn, they're like a lot of times it's fake.
I mean, I know they usually fake it, but I figured that it was actually like at least real, you know.
No. Like in many instances, like the Nutter butter is just like coconut. You know, it's
Can you
just
not
like
ruin food? Stop comparing
it's
stuff to
coconut
food.
flavored. I think it's like coconut or like tapioca. It's different
Oh
flavored.
my
Like, you know,
gosh.
they'll inject into the penis. I think it's like, and then you just
Okay,
kind of
all right, okay,
jerk it
yep.
out.
We don't
But
need
it's like, I
to.
mean, because some of those dudes are like, I'm like, speaking as a man, you know, like I've been slinging yogurt for a while, and like
Oh
some
my
of those guys,
Actual,
they
actual
fire it out
fuck.
like it's a fucking spray paint can. You know what I mean? It's just like, or it's like a
You
sprinkler.
know
It's like,
what?
I thought
That's
dudes
the
could
thing,
actually
though.
do that though. Anyway, sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I did not expect this to go. Yeah,
I'll
I'm
tell
with
you this: when
McLeod for one.
I found out we couldn't, I felt lied to. I'm all like, and here I am practicing for doing target practice,
Is
and I
that what
can't.
puberty's like for guys? Like they see porn and they think that that's real, and then they are disappointed when things don't happen. No,
It's a work
stop
in
it. No,
progress.
Spherical Man, please. I'm actually for once with McLeod. Me and McLeod never agree, but I am in agreement with McLeod. Can we move the fuck on? Because I did
Yeah,
not
well,
need to hear that.
I wanted us to go less than 2 hours, but we are at 2 hours right now.
I blame Saggy.
Yeah, let me get to some super chats here. All right. Let's see here. Okay, Ace Bars did say for $2, thank you. Says Ray is a dick for going after Gunn, talking about Ray Fisher going after James Gunn. I completely agree. We talked about that. I said he was a bully. I agree. Stand by that. Gaylade here says probably my favorite superhero show has been Loki and Peacemaker. I think both of those are really good.
Yep.
You know, I think Peacemaker just kind of like I just wanted to live in that world a lot more. Like I really want to go back and rewatch the series just because I think it's like really well done. And I like the humor, I like the jokes and everything else. And I do think, honestly, I think the series is better than the movie.
Oh yeah, I like this way better than the Suicide Squad. I think this is like, and that's like the whole thing. Going back to when the Suicide Squad came out and this was announced, and everyone, including me, were just like completely fucking against Peacemaker. Like no one gives a fuck about this character. No one wants to see this shit. But then it comes out, and now we're at this point, and it's like, dude, I've never been so wrong in my life. This show is amazing. Like I just want more. I want season 2 now.
Damn, he's hitting the table. You could hear it. I want it now.
Yeah. I want it
Yeah.
now. I want
Yeah.
it. I want it all over my face.
See, I don't do this, y'all. Stop blaming me. You see how he?
That is true. That's no,
No.
I saw. And then Benson here for £2 says Zach will always need a boom. Don't worry, Wayne. Oof.
Wow.
Benson!
That is,
Benson.
No, that's not okay.
You know what's sad is I know he's laughing his ass off right now. But
Yeah, he is.
He's
Oh no, he absolutely
like,
is.
chuckling to himself. Benson.
Oh no, he 100% is laughing to himself right now.
He just does this to crack himself up, I swear. He does. It cracks himself. It cracks me up thinking about it. I can just picture him laughing at it when he read it, like, ha ha, I got a good one. Good zinger there. Proud of you, Mark. I'm going to get myself some tea.
Some
No.
bubble tea?
Oh
No,
my
not
God.
supposed to.
Okay. So I will fully admit, I just, I took a quick look, over, on Enosh's stream. Cause, I guess someone someone DM me. I guess they were talking about me over there, or someone in the chat was talking about me. And he's looking at Joe Costello right now. And, Joe is one of, Sil Abdul's simps, right? She is psycho. And she's again, furious at the at Warner Brothers for allowing the audacity of these cameo appearances to take place. Oh my God, they're so god awful. So she says here, it's amazing how Gunn writes and shoots without any supervision, shows that Warner Brothers doesn't give a fuck about DC at this phase. While Zack Snyder was constantly stalked by executives during principal photography of Justice League, every step being meticulously seen, it's so unfair. Oh my God, these fucking people. Do we need to like talk about an 8-episode television show with low stakes? Because that's, let's be fair, low stakes versus a $180 million tentpole film that's meant to launch 1,000 careers.
Yeah, dude. If Peacemaker did bad, they would toss it. They would toss it.
But not only that, yes, executives were overlooking him constantly, because part of that too was the reaction and the reception to BVS. And that was done by Warner executives who demanded 30 minutes cut out of the movie. And they were already in production or in pre-production of fucking Justice League when BVS came out. And so that reaction, again, because of the reactionary nature of Warner Brothers, it shifted how things were done. Zack was removed as being the guy in charge. They brought in Jeff Johns and John Berg, and then it went through a managerial change, a regime change during the fucking production. And so
it's entirely their goddamn fault.
It is entirely their goddamn fault, but it's like
they blame everyone else.
Oh yeah, and then, but it wasn't for a whole 2 years later until Walter Hamada came into the picture. 2 years later. So again, now we're almost 4 years into another regime change, and now things are a little bit different in how they handle stuff. And yet it's like all of these Snyder simps, they do not fucking get it. They don't understand it. They want to be perpetual victims. Like they just want to like, I guarantee you, if Zack Snyder put out a calling card for like, he's like, I need extras to be crucified in this movie, but we want to go for supreme realism, they would all climb up on the fucking cross and just be like, nail me, Zaddy, nail me. And just let me lay here. I can atone for the sins of Warner Brothers to bring back the Snyderverse, and I will gladly give my life to these thieves. Like, that's what it is.
Honestly, the thing is, like, that bothers me about all this is, like, listen, I get we like these movies, we like entertainment, we are fans, but I feel like, again, I will say this till I'm dead, we are not entitled to get to determine how these things are made. Like, either they make it, we like it, because if you don't like it, there are other people who are going to like it. These people, they don't care for, if they were to cater to every fan's wishes, it's going to be a hot, sloppy mess. Okay? I'm telling you right now. If they try to cater to every single fan's wishes and wants and needs for a project, it's going to be a hot mess. And it's not going to make sense. And it's going to be just bad. So it's like they put out stuff in hopes that people like it. They expect a fair amount of people will. And as long as the majority outweighs the negativity, they're going to keep doing it. That's just how it is and how it should be. If you're making more money, then you don't have to listen to complaints. So it's stupid. It's stupid that people like that chick is that big mad. Mind you, fuck that chick. I say that fucking from the bottom of my heart. Fuck that chick, and you guys know why. I can't stand that bitch. But I ain't gonna rant about that. That's for another time. But yeah, that's the type of people we're dealing with. People who feel entitled to their entertainment. Well, guess what, bitch? If you really want, why don't you make a GoFundMe like Gerald's with Snyderverse and get some funds up and make your own fucking show? No, you're not gonna do that? Shut the fuck up then. Wait until they make something you like. Shut up.
Yeah. Hold on. Benson here says, his sources didn't tell Enosh how Peacemaker ends. Oof. Well, I mean, I guess, didn't he say like he was talking with Ezra Miller? I heard that. Someone told me that the other day. I guess Enosh was talking with Ezra. I have no idea. I don't know. I haven't talked to Enosh.
I'm his source.
And then, yeah, I bet you are. And then also Toronto Freddy, don't worry, man. My mods here are cool. You're a cool dude. You're fine. You're not.
Yeah, he got threatened. He got
by who? Who threatened Toronto? Who threatened the dude that cosplays as Freddy fucking Krueger? Like, are you that stupid?
Not even cosplay, but he's good at cosplaying as Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, sure, it's a Canadian, so it's like, I get it. Like, he's gonna be like, I'm gonna kill you, bitch. Sorry, right?
I forgot how it started. I forgot how it started, but I just saw somebody say, I'm going to punch you in your face. And then he's just like, why are you threatening me? And I was like, what is going on right now? Why is Toronto getting threatened in the chat? Like, who did you piss off? I wasn't even paying attention.
I have no idea. That's really weird. I don't know why people would be on there. I mean, I guess like, I don't know.
My Freddy.
Don't punch. Yeah. Freddy's a cool guy. I don't know what's going on. I mean, we make a lot of really terrible like cum jokes here. That's what we do. So it's like, it is what it is. I have no idea. But I mean, that's kind of all I got for tonight, to be honest with you. I just want to talk about Peacemaker, and laugh at people. So that's kind of all I got for this evening. If you guys haven't already, please like the video, like the stream. What are we looking at here? 30 likes. We can get to fucking 50.
You had like
We
100
we got
people
40
here.
likes now. Yeah, we had over 100 at one point.
Yeah,
So
what
that's
the
really
heck?
great.
Abuse
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, abuse it.
Consensually.
By the way, just to bring awareness before the show ends, there is a fraudulent GoFundMe account up there from Gerald to the Snyderverse. It is for some bullshit. Do not donate to that if you are a Snyder fan or otherwise. It is a scam.
People did it for free today. Just letting you know, people did it for free today.
And somebody also donated today. Somebody also donated. It's up to somebody's scamming people at $215 right now. So just don't.
I feel bad for that poor dumbass that did that, but still.
I won't lie. I reported that shit. Hopefully, those people get their money back. I reported that shit in a heartbeat because it's either actually Gerald the Snyderverse or it's somebody pretending to be to use that
Either
name
way,
for fans.
it's scammy.
Either way, it's gotta go. It's scam as shit.
Just read the description, anyone, and you realize how stupid this whole thing is. Because like just today is like the perfect example of how dumb that GoFundMe is. Because people did that today. But it wasn't in a positive manner. It was in a negative one. And the thing is, Joe is one of the main people that was so negative about it, and I just couldn't handle it. It's like, dude, like, yeah, pay me for a GoFundMe to bring awareness for the restored.
Okay, wait, pause. See, the banner GoFundMe, I'm not gonna report that only because like when they do the banners and the things, at least they're telling you what that money goes towards. So if it doesn't go towards that, then you know it's a scam. Where this is a scam before it even, because they don't tell you like shit where that money's going to really. It's like, we need $2,115 because we need to pay big YouTube influencers, which by the way, $2,000 is not enough money to pay off big YouTube influencers or big people with big platforms to promote something they don't give a fuck about. So that starts off as a sus scam. At least with the banner GoFundMe, you know what you're paying for. You're paying for a banner. So it's not a scam. At least you know it's not. At least we won't know until it's fully funded and they actually make the banner or not. Just saying.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what's going on with any of that stuff. This. I know about the GoFundMe, but like I didn't follow up on it after the fact. So I know we talked about it, but I thought it was down. I thought it was like,
no, it's still up. Somebody donated today, like 8 hours ago. Somebody donated money to it, and I saw that. I was like, why is it still up? I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm reporting it because it's either Gerald trying to scam people out of money or it's somebody using Gerald's name. Either way, they've already taken $215 from people, so I'm gonna report it and hope that those people can get their money back.
Benson asked me what my thoughts on Campia's comments were. You told me about that. Let me go and look at our messages so I can remember what was said. I don't watch Campia, so I don't know.
Benson, by the way, can you send me a list of your toys? I want some more toys.
Oh, okay. I think John Campia has said, I'm paraphrasing, for reasons I cannot discuss, I believe Ryan Reynolds when he says he isn't in Doctor Strange 2. So, okay.
When was he supposed to be in Doctor Strange 2? Who said that?
There's people been asking him if he's in it. People been asking him if he's in Doctor Strange 2. Like, like Andrew Garfield, man, fucking he said he wasn't in No Way Home, but that was a lie. Are you going to be in the, and he's like, no, I'm not in it. Like, what are you talking about? You silly billies.
Well, wasn't Deadpool supposed to enter the MCU?
Yeah, this would be the time to do it.
Right.
To be honest with you.
Aw, Jarbo's yawning.
I am tired. It's midnight. I gotta get to bed pretty soon.
Yeah,
let's see. Disney Jarbo gets them Disney checks. 2000 is nothing. Hey, listen, when I used to get sponsors, 2000 wasn't nothing. You know what I mean? I wasn't like that, I got way more than that for like fucking, I think I did, I got $2,500 to do a sponsorship video that took me less than 90 minutes, like from beginning to end. That's a fucking easy that's an easy 2,500. If I could do that every day, yeah, I'd be living pretty large. I have no idea how to do that every day.
Matt, are you in the Untitled chat?
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't have to tell. I didn't know if it was a fake account. I was gonna time it out.
No, it's me. No,
Good thing I asked.
No, that's actually me. That's actually
Okay,
me.
I wanted to make sure because I know that there have been fake yous roaming around, and I don't know why, but for some reason people are pretending to be you, and I just have to make sure now.
People like to imitate greatness, Saggy.
Oh,
This is
Lord.
what happens.
Oh, so I'm great then.
Yeah. Who imitates
you're
you?
not nice. A lot of people. I got haters, baby. I got haters.
Okay, so.
All right. Yeah, no, you do.
Wow. Yeah,
No, you do. You do.
I do.
So.
It's pretty bad.
It's okay, Saggy.
You know what? You're just mad nobody wants to imitate you, Jimbo, because you're not important enough like me and Jarbo, okay? You have nobody who wants to be you. You don't even want to be you.
I don't.
Oh, I'm sorry. Come here. I'm sorry. Come here. Virtual hugs. You okay? I'm sorry.
I need a healing stream.
Oh, yeah. It's okay. We'll make one tomorrow. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Are you okay? Do you want chicken nuggies?
Yeah.
Okay,
You
I'll
got
make
dino nuggies.
Yeah, I got dino nuggies for you. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean
to. You got the good ketchup.
Yeah, would you want the regular ketchup or do you want the Chipotle ketchup?
I'll take the Chipotle.
Okay, I'm gonna go get those. I'll be right back. Okay, I'll be right back.
Thank you.
Do
you got my Capri Sun?
Yeah, I'll get you Capri
What the fuck is going on?
You want the tropical?
Shut the fuck up, Jarbo. Let this moment happen.
Listen, yes, let it happen, Jarbo.
Just let this happen.
Damn it.
Just let. I mean.
You ruined it. We were having a moment.
Dude, no, I don't even know what happened, dude. I don't even know what the fuck happened anymore. I lost track. God damn it.
Right, good job, Matt. Jesus fucking Christ. I can't even get the boys chicken nuggies. He wants dinosaur nuggets. Like, you know how
well, you know.
Fucking nuggies.
God, right now you screwed him out of nuggets.
Yeah. I agree with Spherical Man there. Anyway, Benson here says charity scams like getting people to pay for a brick, but only putting your name on it. Oh, dude. I donated to that, by the way. I was the first person to donate money to that.
I don't get. Oh, I got that.
It was Enosh and the brick thing. It was like $600. I think they put down the majority of money themselves. So I don't know. I'm fine with that. I don't have a care. That's
Benson. Don't be throwing shade.
So let's see. Toronto says here, Reynolds is basically using his tongue-in-cheek approach to his answers. He's doing the exact opposite of what Garfield is doing. Yeah, pretty much. You know, and does the Amico count as a scam? That ain't the subject of this channel, boys. You got to head over to Saggy Melons with a Z to talk about the Amico.
No, don't.
Because you got to remember, folks. The only person on YouTube who covers the Amico fairly is Saggy. She's got an inside source, though. She's got inside sources. She actually has sources. You know, you don't know what she knows, folks. You don't know.
Everybody now knows what I know, unfortunately. Everybody knows that it's not a scam. It's not a scam. You can get a refund. It's not a scam if you can get a refund, damn it. I think that's how it works, right? If you get a refund, that makes it not a scam, right? They have to give you a refund either way, right?
I mean, well, no, they might make it harder to get a refund.
Well, what if the refund isn't hard to get? That's not a scam.
Well, I mean, I don't know then. That's kind of.
Yeah, what the fuck is that? Yeah, isn't it a scam if it's like the intent to take people's money and not give a product? Like, I think intent matters when it comes to a scam, right?
Sure. I
mean,
care.
you're supposed to be the smartest person in the room. What are you doing? You're ruining this.
It's late and I'm tired.
Well, stop being old and having children.
I would like to not be old, but I love my kids, so I'm good with that.
Aw, see, that was a smart thing to say. Okay, we gotta go now, guys. Jarbo's tired. He needs to get some. When are you gonna do voicemail calls? I've been loving them, by the way.
It's again. I have to really like lock things down to like an actual like time scenario.
Just don't get ones that Segi gets because what the fuck were your?
No, I get some weird ones. Every once in a while,
like, you know. Segi had a fucking Zodiac killer on her fucking voicemail or something. Like I don't know.
It's probably you. Stop acting like that's not you, Jimbo.
Okay, listen. You're telling me if I did that, Why wouldn't I do my fucking park ranger Jimbo voice? Why would I sound like the goddamn Zodiac killer wannabe? Like why? No.
Jarbo, I most of my voicemail calls are people pretending to order food. It's like the first few times it was funny. Now it's just like, please stop calling my voice line to order food. It's not funny anymore. Like 20 people have already done that.
Yeah, but aren't like all of those RJ?
The first like 7 when I first launched it was RJ. The rest of them was everybody else kind of going off of RJ. Like, yeah, can I get a number 7? I like a Big Mac. And I'm just like, bro, RJ killed that joke. It was dead. DED dead.
Well, yeah, that's why I don't do those kind of jokes.
How do I ruin the stream? Have you? When I'm not here, Jarbo randomly talks about cum. It's not my fault. You ruin the stream, Castra. You ruin it.
Not gonna lie, we did talk about.
And I wasn't here.
Well, so Mo Moon here for $2. Thanks, buddy. Says, heard you hated my movie Moonfall. Is that true? No, because I haven't seen it.
He's gonna hate it, Moon. He hates.
No, I like those kind of movies.
Moon, I love you. I just want to say that.
So, all right. Let's see here. Hold on. Is it donating money to imaginary person on Sundays? Okay. Technically, you're not donating money to an imaginary person. You are donating money to a tax-exempt organization that provides a house of worship and community services in order to maintain its religious exemption status from the Internal Revenue Service.
That was a lot. That was a mouthful for you, huh?
I just what?
Yeah, I was a little lost with that too, Jim. I'm like, wait, what is he talking about? Like,
we're talking about tithing to the church when they pass around the collection plate, right? Like, is it a scam to give your money to an invisible sky god that you can't see that is supposed to bring you untold riches and wealth by giving him this money?
I don't think that counts. Yeah,
I don't know. Well, I don't think he gives you untold riches. No, that's not. No.
Have you ever
It's for the church.
No,
it's to keep the lights on. Jesus.
Oh man.
Have you seen some churches that actually send out like collection notices to people who don't pay? Like if you go to the church and you don't give the tithing, like they'll send you a collection notice in the mail. I have gotten those, like when you go to a church, they send you, if you'd like to donate, like, bro, it's freaking Wednesday. I'm not in church. It's Wednesday. Yeah.
So no, I've gotten those. It makes you uncomfortable.
It's a little bit. Yeah. I mean, like, I never made enough money when I went to church to ever like really give it anything. So it's like, I'm like 10%, and they're like, it's like net, not gross. Right? Or gross, not net. Whatever you get before the government takes its cut, that's what they want. So if you make $20 isn't
it like in the Bible somewhere there is like a certain amount that you're supposed to like percentage of what you're supposed to
10%. It's tithing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. There are some people who legit like do 10%.
Oh no, there absolutely are. Like I had friends growing up that would like in their budget was like, we have to give X amount of money each month to the church. And I'm like, but the thing is that I do believe that is considered a donation and that's a tax write-off. So it's like, here's the thing. Here's something to pay attention to, right? Yes, Casper, I know it's over 2 hours. I'm going to go in a second here. But here's something I've always kind of been curious about. How many YouTubers who do charity streams, but do it to their own account, like through super chats, then like donate the money and then write it off on their taxes as a donation?
Well, isn't it all? Wait, pause. But you can do that because charity is considered a tax write-off. Yes. Dude, they ask you when you do your taxes if you donate it to charity.
Yeah. Here's the thing though, but you cannot solicit funds for donation and then write off the donation for yourself.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, that makes sense. I just thought about that. You're right.
So how many,
I mean, the plus side, at least when you do charities on YouTube doesn't touch it at all.
Well, no, but that's only if you do the super chats for good, but that doesn't go to you. That doesn't go to your pocket first, right? It goes directly to the organization.
Right. But
what I mean are like,
percentage.
They don't. Well, no. They at that point they don't take a percentage. But if you do, if I do, like I've done this. I did this last year or the year before that. Whatever. I did a charity stream, raised a couple $100, right? And I donated it. And I didn't write it off on my taxes because I couldn't legally write it off on my taxes because it came in through my super chat link because they had stopped doing the super chats for good. So,
okay,
so I still donated the money, but I ended up not being able to, I couldn't write it off on my taxes at all.
Okay, that makes sense. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't go right to you; it goes straight to the charity, so that's technically not your money. You're like an organizer. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Wow. Gotcha.
Okay. So, HWAD, is this the one I missed? I thought I got this one. It says fuck Dawson.
Why?
He's a bitch.
No. I love my Dawson. He plays Beat Saber.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, whatever. And he's a good artist. Y'all stop picking on my
fine.
Dawson.
Yeah, no, he's fine. He's a fine artist.
I'll beat you all up.
With what?
Don't worry about it. Starting with H-Barts. You know what? You'll never see Max Rebo again, H-Barts. It's done. You done did it. He's gone. I'm coming for Max Rebo. Bye, H-Barts.
Entirely possible.
It is. He's alive, and I'm going to find him, and I'm going to kill him in front of you, H-Barts. I'm going to take his body and bring it to you, and I'm going to chop his little head off. But no, I'm going to start with the fingers. So.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for coming on by tonight. I'm going to go to bed. Because this is crazy. I have not seen the Elvis biopic trailer yet. I don't know. I'll check it out. I have no intention of watching it. I'm just saying that right now. I have no intention of watching it. So there's that. Let's see. For Nerdhead Only, RJ, good show. I'll tell him that RJ, when we see him, we'll let him know. All right, everybody. This did go on for like an hour longer than I wanted, but that's okay. I appreciate everyone for coming and hanging out tonight. Thank you, Saggy. Thank you, Jimbo. Everyone have yourself a good night, and peace out.